Thank you.
A 1 versus 3, it's usually the only time that you can see a 3 jump a 2 is by beating a 1. And so in this case, that's what you're looking at here. So again, the bragging rights certainly is in the hand of the team that wins this game. And Lyford, oh my, what has the Lyford Lady Bulldogs done so far in this season, Kevin? They've taken on top quality opponents, have beaten them. Harlingen South has played a schedule that hasn't been as far as a juggernaut compared to Lyford, but yet they're still in contention and ready to win this game as well.
Right, Lyford, the wins continue to keep coming, but this year is different because of who they're beating. Just 2 weeks ago at the Los Fresnos tournament, they sweep that competition. They beat Rio Hondo. They beat Los Fresnos. The big exclamation point was them beating Sinton. This past weekend, they go to the San Benito tournament. They go and they sweep that tournament. They beat San Benito. They beat Rio Hondo again. They beat Sherryland Pioneer, who was playing some very good softball. So the wins keep coming for this Lyford team, a team that's getting pegged called Green Machine, as what they're starting to call the squad. And just a team that's filled with seniors. This is the most senior-heavy team that Coach Rios has had in his tenure, and you're really starting to see it all pay off. As for Harlingen South, the question marks become who is going to replace shortstop Crystal Gonzalez, who is going to replace Natasha Canales out in left field at the leadoff spot. We're starting to see this team not gel yet, but it's just a matter of putting the pieces in the right place. It's hard when you have to replace a shortstop like Crystal Gonzalez.
Well, when you take the rock of your infield away, it's always a hole to fill, and it's the isolation point that people look at and say, hey, who stepped up here? Because anytime you're looking defensively at a team and you can find a hole in that defense, well then good coaches, good players find a way to get the ball in that spot. So yeah, first and foremost, you take a look at there. You go back to that schedule thing, Kevin. I talked to you before the season started and looked at the Lyford schedule pre-district, and I said, realistically, if they get through that 500 as a ball club, you can still say they're a really good team. If they're above 500, you start looking at just how good are they. But undefeated thus far through that schedule, it could be magical things for this team.
Right, and a couple of weeks ago, I talked with Coach Rios before the PI Los Fresnos tournament, and he said, we're doing these things, we're doing this right, we feel this way. And I said, well, I tell you what, Coach, in 2 weeks, let's have this conversation again, because you'll have already gone through the PI Los Fresnos tournament. You'll have gone through the San Benito tournament. So now he and I are fixing to have that conversation again to see where his team is. They still have Harlingen South here tonight. They have Toloso Midway up on the schedule. They have Los Fresnos. They have Harlingen High. So the rest of the non-district schedule from here on out is still tough. Each of those teams are projected to be in the postseason.
Well, the one thing about it is that Harlingen South wanted to get quality opponents on their pre-district games because of the fact they knew who was in their district. For Lyford, they knew that the competition, once they got to district play, Kevin, wasn't going to be as tough as it can be or as tough as it looks for the Harlingen South team. So on their side, they had to just outright flood the schedule with just how good a teams can we do or play against to get ready for that playoff run. And therefore, both teams using this one as the ultimate measuring stick. Are we ready for district play? And ultimately, are we ready for playoff play, which is what Lyford's looking at when they take on a Harlingen South?
Right, and it starts now, the preparation for the playoffs, because like you said, they are not in the most tough, they're not in the toughest district, so it's hard for a team to play pedal to the metal and then keep that same mentality, keep that same mental edge throughout district play, because it's hard and it's a grind. Softball is a grind. We've seen these girls start to play, so we're going to take a quick timeout. When we come back, Harlingen South Lady Bulldogs coming up next on Real Sports Live.
Thank you for watching Real Sports Live.
Come and enjoy 2 full days of Texas Fest on March 13 and 14 at the San Benito Fairgrounds. Experience the Battle of the Alamo. See the fabulous Grammy winner Eddie the Reina Yavante and legendary Jaime de Anda, plus Los Garcia Brothers, Sereno, H3, Grupo Ácido, huge car show, market days, and join the IBCA State Championship Cook-Off. Take in native Indian, folklorico, and Aztec dancers, Reyes dancing horses, and rock climbing wall and games. Don't miss Texas Fest in San Benito.
Hi, Ranger Cougars, and thank you for watching Real Sports Live.
And welcome back to Rio Sports Live, coming to you live from Harlingen South High School. The Harlingen South Lady Hawks hosting the Lyford Lady Bulldogs. Kevin Naro, Joe Bolin, and the starting lineup was just announced for the Lyford Lady Bulldogs. Now comes the starting lineup for the Harlingen South Lady Hawks. Let's meet the visitors' starting lineup. Leading things off is Haley Pena. She's the right fielder. Batting second, Hannah Garza. She's the shortstop. Batting third, Jericho Rojas. She's playing third base. Batting cleanup, Tiffany Alanis. She's playing first base. Batting fifth, Alyssa Garcia. She's the second baseman. Batting sixth, the sophomore Mia Wettergrove. She's towing the rubber. In the seventh spot, Michaela Lopez. She's the left fielder. Batting eighth, Claire Gonzalez, the center fielder. And batting ninth, the senior Jessica Cruz. She is calling the balls and strikes from behind the plate. So, Joe, right off the bat, what sticks out here is Mia Wettergrove is going to be in the circle. He's going with the sophomore rather than the senior Jericho Rojas. I don't know what the plan is to maybe split the innings or what, but I tell you what, though, Mia Wettergrove has been playing really, really well for these Lady Bulldogs.
Again, they're looking at what do they do against playoff-type competition. And so you put a sophomore in there, Kevin, to say, here's what it feels like to take on a lineup that you have to be honed in on every batter up and down the lineup. And you see how they respond to that. And you have a senior that you can bring in that knows what it's like to be in that circle, but you want to put someone in there that says, okay, later on, if we go in a 3-game series, you're going to be asked to pitch perhaps on that second game or that third game if it extends on that play 2 games in 1 day situation. So what better opportunity than to put her in the center circle to start this one?
And this past weekend at the San Benito tournament, we saw Wettergrove get roughed up just a little bit against San Benito. She gave up a couple home runs, 2, in fact, to Gotti Cisneros, the senior. So she's already been thrown into fire facing against a 6A opponent. But no big deal. Wettergrove calmly collected herself. She goes out the next day, takes on Mercedes, and throws a no-hitter into the 7th inning. So you talk about having to respond. The sophomore did it. We'll see if she can do it tonight against a tough Harlingen South lineup. These girls can hit the softball. The wind's blowing out. Balls are going to fly tonight. Girls like Ileana Salcedo, Alexis Salcedo, the Salcedo sisters alone can knock the ball out the park. Quintana Muñiz, probably one of the better all-around softball players tonight. If Jericho does come in to pitch, that matchup's going to be fun.
Yeah, if there wasn't any humidity in this air, I'd be saying look out concession stand because these balls are going to fly out of here. The only thing that will hold them up a little bit is the humidity in the air, which is going to slow down the ball. But a wind blowing out to left field, look out. We'll be right back after this.
Fans, if you want to look your best at the next game, then let Chewy's Custom Sports go to work for you. From custom designs and graphics to mass production in-house. If it's hats, shirts, buttons, mugs, cups, banners, and more, then Chewy's is there for every team and every sport. A veteran-owned company in touch with the community. It's Chewy's Custom Sports in San Benito.
It's Truck Month at Hacienda Ford. What is Truck Month? It's when all the trucks are discounted the most because Hacienda Ford knows whether you're hauling tools to the job site, hauling the kids to practice, or simply hauling ass. Hacienda Ford has the truck for you. With over 300 Ford trucks in stock, you can quit dreaming about the Ford truck you've always wanted and wake up and drive it. Hacienda Ford Truck Month. Hacienda has it.
Before you have time to worry, we'll get you taken care of fast and easy. Now you can get back to your day with a healthy smile.
Truck Techs in Harlingen is your source for lifts, wheels, and tires. Talking trucks of any size, any model, and any year. Specializing in accessories with top-of-the-line products to bring that special look to your truck in a professional way. Lifts, wheels, and tires, with financing available too. Call today or stop by Truck Techs in Harlingen.
Welcome back to Rio Sports Live. Kevin Naro, Joe Bowling here on the call, and a matchup of powers in the Rio Grande Valley. Let's meet the starting defense for Harlingen South. In the circle, Kylie Ruiz. Catching behind the plate will be the senior Cristina Ariano. Middle infield, Alexa Salcedo is the shortstop. Playing second base is Kelsey Rivera. That's the middle infield. On the corners for Harlingen South, Kayla Flores, the third baseman. Alyssa Ledesma is playing first base. And in the starting outfield, the senior Kayla Rogers, the starting right fielder. In center field, Quintana Muniz. And out in left field, Eliana Salcedo. That's the starting lineup for Coach Elias Martinez's club, Joe. We're just seconds away from softball, and probably one of the bigger matchups we'll see throughout the year, especially considering where these teams will be in the month of April, turning into the month of May. And, you know, we like to call it the softball triangle here in the lower valley when you get teams like Lyford, Harlingen South, San Benito, Rio Hondo. Anytime those teams get to meet up with each other, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, Lyford is always in the mix. That's the fun part about that. And I'm certain that these girls are amped up to take on Harlingen South, Kevin. This is a quality matchup here, and if you're in the defensive side of this ball game, be on your toes. There's hitters up and down the lineup. I don't expect a pitching duel in this one, but if these pitchers are able to keep down these lineups, even better things for the teams we're talking about here tonight.
Yeah, I'm expecting this softball to fly here tonight with the right-handed hitters, especially with the way the wind's blowing out. I tell you what, this is beautiful. You're having fans sit in right field. You're having fans here in left field. You're having fans in center field. The bleachers there behind home plate, that's packed from left to right. So we're getting set for some softball on a cloudy, cool evening here at Harlingen, Texas on Rio Sports Live.
Rudy Zamaripa Jr. on the camera today, my friends. He's up there in our center field cam. We do have a secondary camera, but I'm not sure we'll bring that into play or not. We'll try occasionally.
So getting things underway is the right-handed hitter, Haley Pena. She's the starting right fielder. Kylie Ruiz in the circle, the junior. She's towing the rubber for Harlingen South. And we're underway. Ruiz starts things off with a strike, and that was the theme, Joe, for Mia Wettegrove a couple starts ago. For the pitcher's mentality, get ahead, stay ahead.
Yeah, you know you got hitters up there, so you want to be cautious, but you also want to take control as early as possible. And strikes in places you want to put them is the key.
0-1 on the way. Fouled back for strike two. Hannah Garza in the on-deck circle. She's the shortstop. One thing that Coach Rios likes to do, Joe, it's righty, lefty from 1 through 4 at the top of the order.
Yeah, it does a couple of things. It lets you see the pitcher's delivery from a different perspective. If you're a left-hander, you get to see somebody. If you're batting fourth in the lineup, you've already seen how she faces left-handed. You know where that delivery's coming from. A lot of pluses there when you do have players that can go both ways on the at-bats.
0-2 on the way from Ruiz. That one just missing for ball one, a ball and 2 strikes.
On strike two there to Pena, you can see she was way out in front of that. So Ruiz already using the off-speed stuff in the second pitch of the game just to try to keep him off balance.
Haley Pena is coming off a strong tournament. She was one of our Hacienda She Has It players of the game against Mercedes. She went 4 for 6 at the top of the order for the Lady Bulldogs. Occasionally likes to slap it and hit it the other way. The 1-2 pull to the shortstop. Salcedo has time over to first and a 6-3 putout for out number 1.
Hard hit ball, but right at the shortstop. And the early test on the first ball hit. No problems, it's short.
That's Alexa Salcedo. She's a junior her younger sister, Ileana, is right in front of us. So that combination there with the Salcedo sisters, this is the first time I see them bat back-to-back in the order. And last year, Salcedo, Ileana, was mainly a pitcher and a DP, but this year, having Crystal Gonzalez lost to graduation, Alexa moved over from third to short, thus shuffling around the defense. This one's hit the other way, and that's going to be a one-out single from Hannah Garza.
Now going the opposite field, that one on the first pitch, swinging, Kevin. Throwing that first pitch of the game as a strike could be a key to these hitters. Okay, she's going to throw strikes. We're up there with a bat in our hand. Let's swing away.
And that's one thing that Hannah Garza does well, Joe. As a lefty hitter, she just simply throws out her hand, something middle away, and just hits it to the opposite field. That's one thing I really do like about Garza. This brings up Jerica Rojas, the senior. First pitch outside for ball one.
Now you have a runner on base with these big sticks coming up in the lineup. Lyford used to scoring runs early and often and taking command of games.
(1-0) on the way. Hard hit ball to the shortstop, picked by Salcedo. Has time over to first. Safe at first.
Well, there you go. A little miscue, Kevin. It doesn't take much with these players on either team. If you give them an opportunity, a little inch there.
Are you going to score that a hit or an error?
I'd call that an error.
An error. So it's going to be an E6. Now, this is where it gets tricky, Joe. When you give this lineup extra outs, I was talking with coaches earlier that when you walk them, when you make an error, when they flip this lineup over, anytime you give them an extra out, this team is as good as anybody on making you pay for it. And it starts with this top middle of the order here. So this brings up Tiffany Alanis, runners on first and second, one out. Batting from the left-handed side of the plate again. Rios going righty, lefty. Here's the lefty cleanup hitter, Alanis. Hard hit ball into center field. Holding up Benya at third is Rios, and just like that, the bases are going to be loaded.
That's a good thing that she held up Garza at third base because that was an outright cannon shot coming from center field on that throw coming in. But now, double trouble here for Harlingen South. Bases jammed, only one out for Lyford. Chance for them to open this up here in the first.
And this is where they get you. They get you with that combination of speed and power. This brings up Alyssa Garcia, Mia Wettergrove in the on-deck circle. Pitch swung on. Over the shortstop, Salcedo's head. That's going to score a run. And the play at third, she's going to be out at third for out number 2. South did get a run. Hannah Garza called that an RBI single.
Be right back, Kevin. Training 101.
Rojas called out at third. Tiffany Alanis will be on second base. Runners on first and second for Lyford. First and second. That one fouled back for a strike. Two down in the inning. Top of the first, 1-0 ball game. Lyford striking first. Mia Wettergrove at the plate. 0-1 on the way from Ruiz. This one's hit. This one's headed our way. This one's deep back and off the fence. That's going to be a fair ball. That's going to score Alanis Garcia at third, and that's going to be an RBI double from the sophomore Mia Wettergrove. That ball had some carry on it, but went off the left field wall. Garcia will be on third. Wettergrove will be on second with a double. Michaela Lopez now the batter. Lopez the batter, 2-0. Lyford leads this ball game. Two nothing's the score. Lady Bulldogs looking to add more here. So 2 runs here, a ball and a strike. 2 down in the inning. Michaela Lopez batting 7th in the order. Claire Gonzalez waiting in the on-deck circle. Here's the 1-1. That pitch upstairs for ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. Lyford striking first in this one, scoring 2 runs, 2 outs in the inning. Kylie Ruiz in the circle for Harlingen South. Both runners in scoring position. That's upstairs for ball 3. 3 balls and a strike, 2 down. It's a hitter's count, 3 balls and a strike. Look for something to hit here for Lopez. Here's the 3-1. This one's fouled back, and the count will run full, 3-2. Coach Ritchie here in attendance. Coach Brian Molina is also somewhere around here. He told me he was coming out to the ballpark. 3 balls, 2 strikes to the batter Lopez. Again, the word damage control used often with this Lyford lineup. If South can get out of the jam here, only allowing 2. Check swing didn't go, ball 4. Bases are going to be loaded. How Harlingen South with the bases loaded. Not the worst situation there with the base open. Both runners were already on second and third. Now you can go any base if the ball is hit sharply in the infield. Claire Gonzalez, the starting center fielder, comes to the plate, batting 8th in the order. Jessica Cruz in the on-deck circle. Big spot here for Lyford, looking to tack on more early. They lead 2-0. Ruiz delivers. Pitch misses outside for ball 1. A ball and no strikes. Fans continuing to file in front of a packed house. 1-0 pitch on the way from Kylie Ruiz, who's the starting pitcher. One of 3 pitchers that Coach Elias Martinez has in his back pocket. The other is his starting left fielder, Eliana Salcedo. 1-0 finding the river, a ball and a strike. Plenty of softball action going on tonight. A couple of district games, Zapata at Rio Hondo. Mercedes taking on Porter. Ed Calchelsa taking on Pace. District 31 6A, they have their district opener tonight. Westlaco taking on Edinburgh Economides. Swing and a miss for strike 2. A ball and 2 strikes to the center fielder Gonzalez. Edinburgh North, Edinburgh Vela, they're going at it tonight. That's another game we have circled on to keep an eye on. Edinburgh Vela, the favorite to win that district, starting to come around. They lost to Bryan High in the Brownsville tournament over the weekend. They finished in 2nd place. Here's the 1-2. Just missing outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The count runs even. Then you have Westlaco High, who made a statement up at the Seguin tournament. The Lady Panthers won that tournament over the weekend. Harlingen South, meanwhile, placed 3rd up at the Corpus tournament. The 2-2 pitch swung on, fouled off, and out of play. Count will remain even at 2-2. Then you have Lyford coming off their tournament win at the San Benito tournament this past weekend. Although Lyford won the tournament, I do believe the biggest winner was Sherryland Pioneer with the things they did and the teams they beat. Lady Diamondbacks certainly had a strong showing at the San Benito tournament. We'll try it again, the 2-2. That one's fouled off down the left field side. In case you're just tuning in, Hannah Garza plated the first run, followed by Tiffany Alanis, back-to-back RBIs from Garcia and Weddegrove. Kayla Rogers, the right fielder, Quintana Muniz, the center fielder, and Ileana Saucedo, the left fielder. Two seniors, and Rogers and Muniz. And the sophomore Saucedo right in front of us here in left field. We'll try it again. 2-2 on the way, and a good at-bat from Gonzalez. Pokes this one the other way, and it's foul. Just a really good at-bat from the 8th batter in the order. Working the count deep. Got an overcast here at Harlingen South. It's been a cloudy one all day here in the Harlingen area. I know there was some showers passing through. Kelsey Rivera, the second baseman. Alexa Saucedo, the shortstop. Middle infield. Christina Ariano doing the catching. We'll try the 2-2. And that one fouled off again. Lengthy at bat here for Claire Gonzalez, and a good one. It was also senior night here at Harlingen South. The seniors being honored prior to the game. A couple of seniors on this roster for Coach Elias Martinez. We'll try it again. Here's the 2-2 with 2 down. This one's popped up behind home plate and out of play. Jessica Cruz waiting patiently in the on-deck circle. She's the starting catcher. Kayla Flores at third base. Alyssa Ledesma at first. Corners of the infield. And here we go. Here's the 2-2. Off speed falling in for ball 3, and a good eye from Gonzalez. Bases loaded. Full count, 2 down, top of the first. Lyford leads 2-0. And a big spot here coming up for the Lady Bulldogs. Here's a 3-2 payoff pitch. Popped up down the right field line. Ledesma giving chase. But that's off the fence. And we'll do it again. Very good at bat from Gonzalez, battling off 2 strike pitches. Anything close, she's fighting off, looking for that one to hit. Jessica Cruz in the on-deck circle. Two down in the inning. Here comes a 3-2 payoff pitch. Got the scoreboard right here to our left. Camped out here in left field at Harlingen South. Pretty easy setup here. The 3-2 hit the other way. That's going to be a base hit and a right field. Going to score 1 run. Rios sending in the second run. Play at the plate. She is out at the plate. Out number 3. They do get a run. It's 3-0 Lyford. That's a big out at the plate. Midway through the first, Lyford leads 3-0. You're watching Rio Sports Live.
Stop and see the assortment of records, tapes, and records memorabilia at Forever Memories today. Located at 237 North Sam Houston in San Benito, Texas, there's over 10,000 records on display and more coming every day. Looking for your favorite album from the past? First pressings, collectibles. How about a 45 with a single you just have to have? Freddie Fender, Johnny Cash, Hank Williams, Elvis, Beatles, blues, rock, classics, Tejano, it's all here. Organized and priced for you. Forever Memories, 237 North Sam Houston, San Benito.
Hi fans, today's game is brought to you by New York Life. Best of luck to your team.
And I'm Danielle Goslin, and I'm a partner with New York Life Insurance Company. For over 170 years, New York Life has built a reputation of developing the most successful professionals in the industry.
We help to manage the process from day one and guide you on your way to success. If you're looking to challenge yourself and build an insurance and financial service business,
then we would like to show you how we can help.
Welcome back to Rio Sports Live. Bottom of the first, Harlingen South has their work cut out for them. They trail 3-0 against the visiting club, the Lyford Lady Bulldogs. I want to thank everyone for joining us on this Tuesday evening. Let's meet the starting lineup for the Lady Hawks. Leading it off, Kayla Rogers batting second, Alexis Salcedo batting in the third spot is Ileana Salcedo. Batting fourth, Quintana Muñiz. In the fifth spot, Alyssa Ledesma. Batting sixth, Kelsey Rivera. And the 7-hole, Christina Ariano. Batting eighth, the designated player, Caitlin Dones. And the ninth spot, Kayla Flores. That is the starting lineup for the Harlingen South Lady Hawks. They were able to get 3 runs in the top of the first, and a team that needed to execute early. They can get runners on. They've done that in previous games. It's just a matter of piecing together the timely hits. And they were able to do that there in the first inning and strike first. They lead 3-0. So the starting infield for Coach Rios at first base, Tiffany Alanis at third, Jerica Rojas, corners of the infield. Up the middle, Hannah Garza at shortstop, Alyssa Garcia, the second baseman. Jessica Cruz calling the balls and strikes. Haley Pena in right field, Claire Gonzalez in center, and Michaela Lopez right in front of us at left field. So I want to thank everyone for tuning in here on Real Sports Live. We do got a full crew. And the center fielders, what is it, the cubic shuffle? I think that's what it's called, the cubic shuffle. They do it much better than I do. I'm not a dancer. And I barely know what song they're dancing to. I think that's what it is, but the outfielders there, Michaela Lopez, Claire Gonzalez, and Haley Pena putting on their dancing shoes. Leading things off, Kayla Rogers, one of the seniors on this club, batting from the left-handed side of the plate. First pitch is upstairs for ball 1. Rogers, the starting right fielder, has had a successful career here at Harlingen South, has been a part of 2 Sweet 16 teams, a team that also went 3 deep her sophomore year last year and her freshman year. Rogers was a part of that Sweet 16 club. Mia Wettergrove, the sophomore, in the circle for the Lady Bulldogs, pumps in a strike. Count a run even, 1-1. Righty-lefty matchup. Wettergrove coming off a strong tournament against Mercedes. She took a no-hitter into the 7th inning. Wound up allowing just 2 hits in that game. Rogers with a hard hit ball over the center fielder's head. Gonzalez, Rogers rounding first and headed for second. That's a leadoff double for the senior, Kayla Rogers. Right off the bat, as a center fielder, as an outfielder, your first step is always back. Right there, Gonzalez's first step was forward, and that put her right behind the 8 ball, unable to track that one down. And just like that, Harlingen South has a base runner in scoring position. Alexa Salcedo, the batter. She's a junior, and she can let this one fly. Her sister, Ileana Salcedo, waiting in the on-deck circle. Rogers on second. swing and a miss on the first pitch. Swinging for the fences there with Salcedo. Michaela Lopez, the left fielder, she's right in front of us. This one fouled back. That was the one Salcedo wanted. She falls behind in the count, no balls, 2 strikes. Claire Gonzalez, the center fielder. Haley Pena out in right field. Garza playing back on the grass at short. 0-2 on the way from Wetagrove. That's outside for ball 1. A ball and 2 strikes, nobody down. Rogers got aboard on the leadoff double. Garcia, the second baseman. Garza, the shortstop. One of the more athletic middle infields in the Valley on display here tonight. Here's the 1-2. Chopper to the shortstop. Garza over to first for the 6-3 putout. Rogers advances to third. This brings up Ileana Salcedo, the sophomore for Harlingen South, starting left fielder. Now here's a kid who can send the softball over our heads, over the street, and onto the concession stand. She's done that before. That's quite the ways. Definitely has a lot of pop in her bat. She did it all as a freshman last year, breaking onto the scene. Swinging on the first pitch. This one's deep. This one's back. This one's off the wall. It's going to be an RBI double for Ileana Salcedo. And just like that, the sophomore puts the Lady Hawks on the board. That was a liner right towards the wall. If that ball had any more carry to it, it'd have been a 2-run shot. This brings up the senior slugger Quintana Muñiz, one of the more dangerous hitters in the South lineup. First pitch to Muñiz, in for a called strike 1. Quintana will be signing her letter of intent on Thursday. She'll be going to Texas A&M Kingsville. I know Mark will like that. Mark says go Hogs. That's where she'll be playing her college ball, and so we'll be out at that signing. This one's hit the other way. Past the diving glove of Lopez. This one's going to get all the way to the wall. Muñiz is going to be standing up on second base, and just like that, it's a 3-2 ball game. Harlingen South answering with a right hook of their own. 3-2, cut to 1 now. That was a sharply hit ball on the RBI double from Muñiz. Now time called. Coach Elias Martinez wanting to have a chat. And the Lady Bulldogs having a meeting of the minds inside the circle. So in just a blink of an eye, Harlingen South trailed 3-0. They now trail 3-2. Middle of the order producing, and that's one thing that Harlingen South had been struggling with runners in scoring position. They were looking for that timely hit, and they got that from both Salcedo and Muñiz. And it all started with the leadoff double from the senior Kayla Rogers. Muñiz on second. Alyssa Ledesma now digs into the box. Ledesma, a junior, plenty of experience on this team. Third-year varsity member. Wetagrove pumps in a first pitch strike. Kelsey Rivera in the on-deck circle. Some fans asking where this game is at. We're at Harlingen South. Here at the ballpark down off of Dixieland Road. That pitch misses for a ball and a strike, and fans continuing to come to the ballpark. Fans to our left, fans behind us, fans to our right, along the fence with their lawn chairs. And of course, we got a full house over in the stands behind the plate. That pitch misses for ball 2. Two balls and a strike. Much like Lyford, this lineup can hurt you in different ways. Alyssa Ledesma, one of the better hitters. This one's a flare over the outstretched glove of Rojas, and the runner's going to be safe at first. We're going to score that a single, and just like that, runners on first and second. More cars continuing to come on into the ballpark. The senior Kelsey Rivera comes to the plate. Batting 6. And the Lady Hawk order. First pitch in for strike 1. Still 1 out in the inning. The inning got started on a Kayla Rogers leadoff double. Alexis Salcedo recorded the first out on the 6-3 putout. That pitch misses. A ball and a strike to the senior Kelsey Rivera. Starting second baseman, one of the middle infielders back from last year's club. Crystal Gonzalez was the shortstop, Natasha Canales in left. Rivera slaps that one foul. Melba Rodriguez, another outfielder that was lost to graduation from last year's team. Runners on first and second for Harlingen South. Here's the 1-2. And Rivera stays alive in the count, a ball and 2 strikes. So be sure to follow us on the social media sites at Rio Sports Live on Twitter and Instagram. Give us a like on Facebook at Rio Sports Live. This game was circled on the calendar when we saw that the schedules had come out. These two were supposed to meet up back at the Mission Fast Pitch Tournament when the first schedule came out. Called strike 3 looking. That's going to be a strikeout for Weddergrove. Now the runner caught in a rundown Muniz. Between second and third, she's in a pickle. And Rojas tags the runner Muniz in a much-needed double play for the Lady Bulldog defense. We head to the second inning. Fireworks here at Harlingen South. Lyford leads 3-2 on Rio Sports Live.
In provider services, respite care, and emergency response services. TVNS are pioneers in the home care industry, in service for over 37 years. 11 locations from Brownsville to Corpus Christi, from Harlingen to Laredo.
Today's game is sponsored by TVNS, the pioneers in serving our community with the highest quality in provider services.
When in Port Mansfield, be sure to stop in Laguna Madre Baits, the home of Laguna Girl 1 and 2. They ensure that you have the best when it comes to your fishing needs. Locally caught bait, including live shrimp and croaker. Frozen baits, caught locally, frozen shrimp, squid, mullet, and more. Dress the part with full outdoor apparel. Drinks, ice, snacks, groceries, and fishing supplies for any need. Access by road or by boat. Look for the blue building and the blue shrimp boats. Laguna Madre Baits, 828 Westport Drive, Port Mansfield, Texas.
Our professional advisors at Employee Retirement Service have been providing financial and retirement planning for many years for employees of different employment.
If you've spent your career in education and are ready for the next chapter, let the professionals at Employment Retirement Services help. You've worked hard, and now it's time to relax and enjoy with peace of mind and security.
Help fulfill your retirement needs. Come experience the difference with us.
And let's plan your retirement together. Call us at 956-440-8774 to schedule your appointment today.
Welcome back to Rio Sports Live. We're in the top of the second inning. 9-1-2 the order due up. Jessica Cruz leading things off, takes the first pitch. First strike one looking, and Joe, before I went to break, I just said fireworks here at Harlingen South.
Well, I said out of the gate, I don't expect a pitching duel in this one. If you do, you got some terrific pitchers, but these are some outstanding lineups up and down the line. If that's the fireworks, wait till the finale.
Right, exactly. I mean, you talk about two teams that exchanged a couple left hooks and just started to flex their muscles. Jessica Cruz behind in the count, no balls, 2 strikes. That pitch is upstairs for ball 1. I was just talking about Ileana Salcedo. That was a line drive right off a bullet.
Yeah, those were attacked pitches. Those weren't, let's just see, let's go the other way with it. Those are, let's attack that pitch.
The 1-2 called strike 3 looking.
You can have so much confidence if you're Kylie Ruiz. You went on the mound in the first inning. You saw that juggernaut of a lineup. They hit you for a couple runs. But when you go back on the center circle for a second time and suddenly, hey, my team can score runs too, extra confidence boost right there. Ruiz strikes out her first one here in the second.
Right, and now we'll see, how Harlingen South responds. There's actually, Joe, been a pitching change for Harlingen South.
Oh, that quick.
Janessa Ramos, the southpaw.
The voice, Mario Madrano, just lets the fans know he was one pitch behind us, Kevin.
There you go. The 1-0 hard hit ball hit the other way. That's going to be a fair ball. And Haley Pena gets aboard on a 1-out single. So Coach Martinez quick to pull the trigger on Ruiz after a turbulent first inning, and now he hands the ball off to the lefty, Janessa Ramos.
I was going to say, Kevin, on the other side, I was wondering how far they would go with the sophomore pitcher in the center circle for the Lyford Lady Bulldogs, fully expecting that Coach Martinez would stick with his pitcher for a long duration regardless of the run score, but quick pitching change.
So a runner on first, Hannah Garza trying to lay down the bunt. It's foul for a strike. Yeah, we got the pitching change, no worries. Some folks are, unless they're behind, but.
Yeah, we have to delete almost every comment. Remember, fans, one of our coaches has asked us, hey, if you broadcast our games, I don't want to see comments, but you can comment, let us know. That's a good heads up on that one, but let us know also where you're watching the games from. That's always neat to see just what the reach is, how far away fans are watching these games.
No balls, 2 strikes to the left-handed hitter, Hannah Garza. She's 1 for 1 with a single and a run scored. Back in the first inning, was 1 of 3 runs scored. Off speed, past it, outstretched glove of Rivera, and just like that, runners on first and second.
Back-to-back singles. Here we go again, Kevin. The carousel, top of the order, getting on base, and here come the Lyford Lady Bulldogs right back at you.
And again, much like how we saw Harlingen South in the bottom half of the frame, was that they can hurt you in so many different ways with their speed and with their power. And right there, they're 2 speedsters at the top of the order, both Pena and Garza. Now this brings up the ever-dangerous Jerica Rojas.
Shout out to Round Rock, Texas tuning in. Also to Rio Grande City tuning in. Thanks for joining us for the game.
Outside for ball 1.
I haven't called a softball game yet this year.
Oh, well, welcome to the
This
fold.
basketball playoff stuff has been keeping most of us running.
La Mesa, Texas as well, chiming in. Here's the 1-0. Whew. She had her guessing on that off speed. Far Texas joining the broadcast. Yeah, that's one thing when you have an aggressive hitter and a good hitter like Rojas.
Navasota, Texas, tuning in. Thanks, Celi Lopez, for checking in.
Navasota, right between College Station and Houston, right off of Highway 6. Rojas hits this one the other way. This one's going to have some carry on it, but Rogers is there to make the grab.
Runner advances over to third base on that play.
Runners on the corners first and third, and we've seen Rojas hit an opposite field home run just the other day at the San Benito tournament, so she has that power.
Yeah, again, the wind has shifted a bit. It was out to left, dead straight away when we started this. It's now more from center to left field, blowing out to that left field corner, which means nothing helped when it goes to right field, which was that case there.
And now it's even tougher for a left-handed hitter. Tiffany Alanis takes the first pitch for a strike.
Well, we've seen this trip through the lineup. Pitch is low, call for strikes. Pitch is high, call for strikes. Umpire recognizing these teams can hit. Let's just open that strike zone up.
No balls and a strike to the cleanup hitter Alanis. She's 1 for 1 with a single and scored a run in the first inning. That pitch missing high. College Station tuning in.
See that?
Sebastian, Texas, Harlingen. A couple folks just down the road. A ball and a strike, 2 down. Alyssa Garcia in the on-deck circle. Harlingen South looks to get out of this inning unscathed. Right back to the pitcher for out number 3. Midway through the second, Harlingen South trails 3-2 on Rio Sports Live.
Hi fans, today's game is brought to you by New York Life. Best of luck to your team.
And I'm Danielle Goslin, and I'm a partner with New York Life Insurance Company. For over 170 years, New York Life has built a reputation of developing the most successful professionals in the industry.
We help to manage the process from day one and guide you on your way to success. If you're looking to challenge yourself and build an insurance and financial service business,
Then we would like to show you how we can help.
At HCISD, we move the needle forward every day.
We'll blaze a trail for future generations.
It's not just about equipping students with skills for the future. We awaken their potential and empower them to make good choices.
No matter where you're from or where you're headed, there's a place for you to flourish at HCISD.
Welcome back to Rio Sports Live. Bottom of the second inning, coming to you live from Harlingen South. And a good one lined up. San Perlita, Lafayette, Louisiana, all chiming into the ball game, and why not on a Tuesday evening? It's also senior night here at the ballpark. 7, 8, 9, the order due up for Harlingen South. Christina Ariano, the senior, will lead things off. Lyford chiming in. We have a couple Lady Cardinals here as well watching the game. They don't have a ball game tonight, but they do have their district opener against San Benito. So Christina Ariano leading things off. Mia Weddergrove back in the circle. First pitch in the dirt, ball 1. Christina Ariano, one of the core seniors on this club, has had a couple of big moments for Harlingen South. When she was a sophomore, she hit that walk-off home run against San Antonio, Southside, I believe it was. South San Antonio. South San, that was the team. That's in for a strike. It was a walk-off home run. in the area round in a one-game playoff. That was at Cabinets Field during an afternoon game. The 1-1 in the dirt. 2 balls and a strike to Ariano. That was one of the crazier moments for these Lady Hawks. Corpus Christi chiming in as well. That night before, Rio Hondo had won on a walk-off against Divine. And the cool thing was that Domo de Jesus of Rio Hondo hit the walk-off, and her cousin, Kelsey Rivera, who's on the Harlingen South team, was there watching the game. The next day, the roles were reversed. Rivera hit the leadoff single for Harlingen South. Cristina Ariano hit the walk-off home run. Domo de Jesus was in the stands watching Kelsey play. Slow roller to Weta Grove over to first for an easy 1-3 putout. One out in the inning. Bottom half of the order due up for Harlingen South. Caitlin Doñez, the batter. She's the designated player. That pitch missing low for a ball. Kayla Flores in the on-deck circle, batting in the 9th spot. Another fan chiming in from far Texas. Here's the 1-0. This one hit the other way off the outstretched glove of Garcia into center field. That's going to be a 1-out single. Dones is aboard. This brings up Kayla Flores, the starting third baseman. Joe Bowling out there handing out our Rio Sports Live tabs. Fans able to pick those up.
They're really good.
Mark says that they're really good. They really were. Laying down the bunt. Having trouble with it is Rojas, and out at first on a bang-bang play. Coach Elias Martinez wanting an explanation on that call. She looks safe from here on a bang-bang play over at first. So now a lone runner on second. Back to the top of the order, 2 down, Kayla Rogers. Jay Santamaria tuning in. I know where he's tuning in from. He's tuning in from Edinburgh. He's an Edinburgh guy. San Jose, California. Newport, Arkansas. First pitch in for strike one. Shout out to everyone tuning in. Jayla Rogers, the leadoff batter. She's 1 for 1, a double, and a run scored. Got that inning going for Harlingen South in the first inning. Now a shot here. A base hit could tie the game. Missing high. Count runs even, 1 ball and 1 strike. Packed house here at Harlingen South High School. 3-2 ball game. Here's the 1-1 from Weta Grove. She went around, so it's in for strike 2. Weta Grove now trying to get out of the jam here. Tying run on second. Kayla Rogers, the batter. Here's the 1-2. This one hit the other way, foul. Count will remain at a ball and 2 strikes. Bottom of the second inning. 3 runs in the top of the first for Lyford. Harlingen South answered with 2 runs of their own. Rogers stays alive in the count. A ball and 2 strikes. Lovelady, Texas. So fans tuning in from across the state. Rogers digs back into the box. Ball and 2 strikes, 2 down. Here's the 1-2. This one's pulled and right into the glove of Garcia for the 3rd out of the inning. We play 2 as we head to the 3rd. Lyford leads 3-2 on Real Sports Live.
We're watching Real Sports Live.
Before you have time to worry, we'll get you taken care of fast and easy. Now you can get back to your day with a healthy smile.
Hi, we're Robert Bella's favorite cats, and thank you for watching Real Sports Live.
Music lovers, you have to stop and see the assortment of records, tapes, and records memorabilia at Forever Memories today. Located at 237 North Sam Houston in San Benito, Texas, there's over 10,000 records on display and more coming every day. Looking for your favorite album from the past, first pressings, collectibles? How about a 45 with a single you just have to have? Freddie Fender, Johnny Cash, Hank Williams, Elvis, Beatles, blues, rock, classics, Tejano, it's all here. Organized and priced for you. Forever Memories, 237 North Sam Houston, San Benito.
Welcome back to Real Sports Live, top of the 3rd inning. Both teams went scoreless in the 2nd inning. Now we get back to the action. 5, 6, 7, middle of the order due up. Alyssa Garcia leading things off. First pitch missing for ball 1, a ball and no strikes. Santa Rosa, Texas tuning in. A ball and no strikes. Garcia's 1 for 1 with a run scored and an RBI in the 1st inning. Mia Weddegrove in the on-deck circle. Ramos' pitch misses upstairs. 2 balls and no strikes. Top of the 3rd inning. And again, fans continuing to file in here to the ballpark. 2 balls, no strikes on the way. And here's a ball popped up. Center field, Quintana Muñiz. There to corral it for out number 1. Garcia retired on the F8, 1 out in the inning. This brings up the batter, Mia Weddegrove. So Mark Molina hooking me up with the jacket. It got a little chilly. Sun's starting to go down. Mark, someone's tuning in from Santa Rosa.
Hey, Tony Prado. You know Tony.
Mark says he knows Tony Prado. First pitch missing for a ball. Mark, a fellow peep from Santa Rosa. Weddegrove, the batter, ahead in the count early. A ball and no strikes. Here's the 1-0, swing and a miss. For strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. One on the way. Ramos, the lefty, stays in the game for Harlingen South. That pitch in for called strike 2. Lozano, Texas, cheering for.
Hey, everybody.
Mark
Thought I'd get on the mic a little bit. What's going on, Tony? And everybody from Raymondville, Lozano.
Strike 3. for the second out of the inning.
A fun fact: Tony Prado, Joey Reels, and I we all stayed on the second floor of Turner Hall in Texas A&M Kingsville. So a lot of ties here tonight.
And then there was definitely a lot of ties up at the San Benito tournament with Gus.
Yeah.
With Gus up there coaching over in San Benito.
A lot of the old RAs.
Michaela Lopez, the batter, fouls that one back for strike one. Rio Hondo tuning in, Raymondville tuning in. Yeah, two of our camera guys are from Santa Rosa. Both Bert and Rudy.
Look at the Warriors out and about.
The Santa Rosa products. Swing and a miss on the off speed and a good pitch from Ramos. She's got this Lady Bulldog offense off balance, and now she's flirting with the 1-2-3 inning here in the top of the third. Some fans tuning in from Mexico as well. 0-2 on the way. Big spot here for Harlingen South. Misses high for a ball and 2 strikes. We have some Harlingen fans cheering on the Lady Hawks. Jamie Gonzalez, one of the players for the Lady Cardinals. This one's hit to right field. Rogers camping under it, there to make the catch. And a 1-2-3 inning for Harlingen South as we head to the bottom of the third. Lady Hawks due up. They trail 3-2.
Our professional advisors at Employee Retirement Service have been providing financial and retirement planning for many years for employees of different employment.
If you've spent your career in education and are ready for the next chapter, let the professionals at Employment Retirement Services help. You've worked hard, and now it's time to relax and enjoy with peace of mind and security.
Help fulfill your retirement needs. Come experience the difference with us.
And let's plan your retirement together. Call us at 956-440-8774 to schedule your appointment today.
Hi, we're Sherryland Rattlers, and thank you for watching Rio Sports Live.
Welcome back to Rio Sports Live, bottom of the inning. Mark Molina is getting the crash course on running the scoreboard.
Yeah. There's a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff that goes into all this, guys. But I just want to make an observation. You know, we started off pretty hot and heavy here at the ballpark, and it slowed down the last couple of innings. You know, that's what good teams do. They kind of just settle into themselves, not only at the plate, but, you know, defensively as well. I know Lyford had a really rocky bottom of the first inning there, had a couple of errors. But they've settled in, and they're playing well, both teams defensively and at the plate. So we'll see what goes on here.
The old chicken dance. Both teams have their dancing shoes on here tonight, that's for sure. We're here in the bottom of the third inning. 2-3-4 the order due up for Harlingen South. Alexis Salcedo, Eliana Salcedo, and Quintana Muniz all slated to come to the plate. Three-two's your score, and again, Lyford got their 3 runs in the first inning. Harlingen South answered with 2 of their own in the bottom of the first. Salcedo swinging on the first pitch. Fouled back for a strike. She's 0 for 1. Grounded into a 6-3 put out to the shortstop in the first inning. Salcedo, the starting shortstop here tonight. The 0-1 swing and a miss. No balls and 2 strikes. Salcedo swinging late on that pitch upstairs. Weddergrove gets ahead in the count early. Garza the shortstop, Garcia at second base, Alanis at first, Jericho Rojas at third, the starting infield. Jessica Cruz takes that in for a ball and 2 strikes. One, 2 on the way from Weddegrove. This one's a high fly ball. This one's going to have some carry on it, but Gonzalez there to make the grab. Alexis Salcedo's 0 for 2 with a fly out to center field. Weddegrove gets a quick out, number 1. Now Ileana Salcedo comes to the plate, the sophomore. Roped in a double, an RBI double in the first inning and later scored a run. Quintana Muñiz in the on-deck circle in a big spot here for Harlingen South. They can get their heavy hitters on board. First pitch misses outside for ball 1. One 0 on the way. Sophomore versus sophomore. Salcedo with a line drive. This one's back. This one's, is it gone? Home run, line drive shot. That ball left in a hurry. And just like that, we're all tied at 3. Mark, that ball had some smoke on it.
Yeah, I just left, like, didn't even hang, just line drive all the way out.
A line drive solo shot from Ileana Salcedo ties things up at 3. The folks here to our right didn't even know what went over them. The ball went straight across the street.
It cleared the grass behind the fence for sure. It just, like a missile, just came out.
That ball was smoked. That is the second ball she hit on a line. The first one she hit was a line drive double off the wall. And that one just cleared the fence and stayed inside of the foul pole. That was the only question. Was it fair or was it foul?
That was definitely fair.
Whew.
Not by a lot, but it was clear.
Now this brings up Quintana Muñiz, a ball and no strikes.
Most importantly, that tied the game and gave the fans half-price hot dogs at the concession stand. So, you know.
Oh, there you go.
Everyone's a winner.
A ball and no strikes. Quintana Muñiz, the batter. That's in the dirt. 2 balls and no strikes. Some fans tuning in from San Antonio cheering for Quintana Muñiz. And much like Lyford, Harlingen South, this is the part of the order where they'll get you in different ways with power and speed. Here's the 2-0. Muñiz hits this one hard and right into the glove of Michaela Lopez. For out number 2, Alyssa Ledesma now comes to the plate.
Kind of have the feeling that if Lyford can get out of here unscathed out of this inning, you know, the home run will be nobody hurt. Got to be happy in the position they're in.
Right.
As the game treks on.
Right. The damage has been done, and now you can just get out of this inning and restart fresh. Ledesma takes that first pitch in for a called strike. And a good way to rebound for the sophomore Weddegrove. You get the first out, you give up the homer, then you get Quintana Muñiz to fly out for out number 2. Now you have to deal with Ledesma. There's another good hitter. That pitch is outside for ball 1.
You know, you guys talked pregame earlier about, situations that they're going to face right now, Lyford not being in a tough district, and that's one of those situations. You give up a homer, you got to kind of just shake it off and come right back with a really strong order coming up in the lineup.
The 1-1, painting the outside corner for strike 2. Fans tuning in from the state capital, Austin, cheering on the Lady Bulldogs. One-two on the way with 2 down. Wetter Grove looking to get out of the inning here. That one just missing outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Deuces Wild on the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Desma fouls that one off. Stays alive in the count. Count is 22. Harlingen South able to come back and tie it after the solo home run from Eliana Salcedo. 2 runs in the first, 1 run here in the third, looking for more. Here's the 2-2. Nice. Swing and a miss. Upstairs, we head to the 4th, all tied up at 3 on Rio Sports Live.
Full days of Texas Fest on March 13 and 14 at the San Benito Fairgrounds. Experience the Battle of the Alamo. See the fabulous Grammy winner Erida Reina Yavante and legendary Jaime de Anda, plus Los Garcia Brothers, Sereno, H3, Grupo Ácido, huge car show, market days, and join the IBCA State Championship Cook-Off. Take in Native Indian, Folklorico, and Aztec dancers, Reyes dancing horses, and rock climbing wall and games. Don't miss Texas Fest in San Benito.
Sherryland ISD, a nationally recognized district focusing on quality and rigorous instruction where every child is immersed in a culture of academic success. A district dedicated to preparing our youth for the future. Our mission is to inspire, educate, and empower all students to reach their full potential and become leaders of the highest moral character. Sherryland ISD, excellence is our tradition.
Welcome back to Rio Sports Live, top of the 4th inning, and this game is a lot of fun. In case you're just tuning in, Lyford got 3 runs in the first inning. Harlingen South answered back with 2 of their own in the first, then they just tied it up on the Ili Salceda home run in the bottom of the 3rd. We are all tied up at 3. Kevin Naro, Mark Molina, Rudy Zamaripa, and Joe Bowling. We got a full crew here for you tonight on Rio Sports Live, and why not? 2 of the better softball teams in the Rio Grande Valley. Number 1, Lyford on our polls, taking on number 3, Harlingen South, living up to the hype.
Yeah, definitely one of those nice early season games. We don't have a full crew very often, but when we do, it's usually for an opportunity like this.
8-9-1, the order drew up for Coach Rios' club. Claire Gonzalez, the starting center fielder, leading it off. Jessica Cruz to follow. Laying down the bunt. That's going to roll sharply foul. No balls and a strike. Eliana Salcedo, who tied the game up right in front of us in left field. Quintana Muniz in center, and Kayla Rogers, a right fielder. No balls and a strike. Couple of fans tuning in from San Antonio. Ramos finding the river there. She gets ahead in the count early. No balls and 2 strikes.
Seems like these games, the softball games, come in phases. It started hot pretty early, and then defense has kind of settled in, and now it just kind of feels like there hasn't been like a runner on base. I mean, you had the home run, but it just feels like the last time that anybody's played at anybody is probably back in the second inning.
The first inning when Lyford got a lot of traffic. It's just a matter of the pitchers settling in. You know, the hitters came up with an aggressive approach, and that's what these two teams can do to you. They can come with that aggressive approach. You know, Lyford with their speed and with their power at the top of the lineup. Harlingen South, the same thing. That middle of the order can be daunting when you meet, you know, the Salcedos, Ledesma, Ariano. You know, that lineup gets tough.
Yeah, and Mr. Bowling in the beginning talked about if you can settle in, you know, with these two lineups, you show that you have really good pitching.
6-3 put out. Gonzalez retired. She's now 1 for 2. Jessica Cruz comes to the plate. She's 0 for 1 with a strikeout in the second inning. And I'm sure the adrenaline was pumping because these two teams knew, you know, the matchup. Mm-hmm. You know, they see what's on social media. They read the papers. They understand what's going on, and they know what, you know, Harlingen South knows what Lyford has been doing. Lyford has seen Harlingen South.
And we've seen a lot of the coach talk. Everybody says, you know, these games are just games to come in, you know, get reps, practice, and all that. And that's very true, but you can't argue the fact that, you know, these girls come out here, you know, you say they read those press clippings, they see what's on social media, you know, they want to get the W. It's not all about getting reps, and it's hard to just kind of think of a game like this, of this caliber, in that kind of a light.
Nearly both these teams really just wanted a bite of the apple. So substitution here for Coach Rios. Alex Cortez coming into the ball game, batting for the catcher Jessica Cruz. Cortez, otherwise known as Ferret, on the team. She fouls that one back for strike one. When you're catching all the nicknames of the kids, her nickname is Ferret. She said, you're allowed to use it once. So there, I used it.
Oh, sure you didn't waste it.
All in good fun. It's always fun learning the nicknames of all the kids. Here's the 0-1. In for strike two. No balls and 2 strikes to Alex Cortez.
That's the thing about softball. Really fun sport. I mean, not only the nicknames and stuff, but you kind of just see, like, when you're in the dugout and you're taking photos and stuff like kind of we have been the last few years, you kind of just look in there, and they kind of have, like, go bags full of stuff, like to make noise, masks, rally hats, things of that sort.
Absolutely, and that's exactly what I just told Ronnie, the trainer for Harlingen South. I said, the one thing I'm going to miss about softball is actually being able to be in the dugout. And, you know, it's loud, but it's a good loud. See, now Lyford got the drumsticks out. In the previous games, they hadn't had them out, but they broke them out here tonight. Harlingen South, I know they're infamous for having the drumsticks and a strikeout from Ramos. 2 up and 2 down. The drumsticks are fun. The unicorn hats. I know Rio Hondo went as far as having a trumpet one year with a snare drum, and that was a part of their pregame routine, along with like a Mardi Gras mask, sort of speak type of deal. And they would put those on, and they'd have the trumpet.
When I saw Lyford, they had full-on like character masks, like masks that you physically put on, like a mascot head almost.
Right. I know Westlaco, that year they went to state, they had a mascara. That's a sharply hit ball down the third base line. That's going to be a fair ball. Peña rounding first and headed for second. Throw not in time. Stand-up double from Haley Peña with 2 down. Westlaco had a girl put on the wrestling mask. Mm-hmm. They had a girl with a shark suit all the way from top to bottom. They had a girl wear a big farmer's straw hat. And they had another girl, I think she was wearing like a Superman cape. And it was funny because they were pegged as the best bench warmers in softball, and that's what they were called. That's what they called themselves. And they would run up and down in front of the dugouts between the innings. Here's a hard hit ball to left field over the head of Salcedo. That's going to get down. That's going to be an RBI double from Hannah Garza. 4-3. Lyford retakes the lead. 2-out Lightning from the Lady Bulldogs. And again, Mark, as an outfielder, your first step is always back. Salcedo right in front of us. Her first step was forward, and how hard that ball was hit from Garza, just sent the other way. You use the term burnt. You become burnt as an outfielder.
Seen a couple of balls like that tonight, were just outside of the glove of these outfielders, and a couple of infielders.
First pitch fouled back for strike one. And again, her first step was forward, and by the time you put that first step forward, that ball's already coming over your head. Nonetheless, it was a sharply hit ball all the way to the wall. Lyford answers. And just like that, with 2 down, they have a rally going. Garza on second. She's 3 for 3. Jericho Rojas at the plate. She's looking to get a big hit here. This one's a hard hit ball right to the center fielder, Quintana Muniz. Midway through the 4th, Lyford strikes back. They lead 4-3 on Rio Sports Live.
South Padre Island Golf Club. Come for a visit. Stay for a lifetime.
Hi, we're PSJ Southwest Javelinas, and thank you for watching Real Sports Live. J's up!
It's Truck Month at Hacienda Ford. What is Truck Month? It's when all the trucks are discounted the most, because Hacienda Ford knows whether you're hauling tools to the job site, hauling the kids to practice, or simply hauling ass. Hacienda Ford has the truck for you. With over 300 Ford trucks in stock, you can quit dreaming about the Ford truck you've always wanted and wake up and drive it. Hacienda Ford Truck Month. Hacienda has it.
Welcome back to Rio Sports Live, and yep, it's a 4-3 ball game, and the kids continuing to dance their way through this ball game. Pretty energetic bunch on both sides. Getting set for the top of the 4th. Lyford answering back. Or excuse me, the bottom of the 4th and the top of the 4th. Lyford retook the lead on an RBI double from Hannah Garza. She has some fans tuning in from Salt Lake City, Utah.
Nice. You got to get that reach. But yeah, that was felt like that was pretty good innings there for Lyford. I mean, they started off hot, went cold for a couple innings there, but you know, got a little bit of momentum.
Six, 7, 8, bottom of the order up for the Lady Hawks. Kelsey Rivera, the senior, leading it off. She's 0 for 1 with a strikeout in the first inning. First pitch misses low and in. Mia Wettergrove back in the circle, and this game really kind of has everything to it. 3 runs in the first for Lyford, and they answered with that go-ahead run here in the 4th. Harlingen South answered right back with 2 runs in their first inning. Then the solo shot from Ileana Salcedo in the 3rd tied things up at 3. Then Hannah Garza gave the Lady Bulldogs the lead on that 2-out double.
I talk about this game having everything, including the atmosphere. It's always just amazing to see just how under pressure some of these players are in a tense situation like this, and how they're able to keep calm.
That one hit foul, the ball in 2 strikes. Yeah, and you know, just not only that, but you know, you know, there's a PA, there's music, that's a large crowd. Again, we're camped out in left field, and there's fans to the right and left of us. There's fans behind us in the stands right now. As Rivera stays alive in the count, a ball and 2 strikes, and
it's just a big game situation. I mean, it's early in the season, but you know, this is what the playoffs are like, or like the toughest district games.
When you look back at it, once this one's said and done, it's going to be everything everyone pictured it would be. And again, when the schedule came out, the softball junkies like myself circled that one and said, wow, Harlingen South and Lyford, they're going to be going at it in the month of March. That's good stuff. Christmas almost came early a couple weeks ago when these two were supposed to meet at the Mission Fast Pitch Tournament. What happened there was the weather, Mother Nature had something to do with that tournament. Thursday, a couple of teams got some games in. Then they flipped it over to a round-robin tournament. When they released the first schedule, these two were slated for a 6 o'clock game on a Saturday evening. That's going to be a base hit. A leadoff single for Kelsey Rivera. She's 1 for 2, and the leadoff batter is aboard. Some scheduling issues forced the tournament directors to swap up the schedule. So then I got in a second schedule, and unfortunately it did not have the matchup Lyford and Harlingen South. So that game got put on the back burner and said, well, the softball god's like, well, you're going to have to wait until March 10th.
Well, March 10th got here pretty fast. So
it did, and by the time you know it, well, spring break is already next week for most schools in the Valley. So this brings up the batter, Christina Arellano. We're going to take a quick timeout. Timeout on the field. You're watching Real Sports Live.
Stop and see the assortment of records, tapes, and records memorabilia at Forever Memories today. Located at 237 North Sam Houston in San Benito, Texas, there's over 10,000 records on display and more coming every day. Looking for your favorite album from the past, first pressings, collectibles. How about a 45 with a single you just have to have? Freddie Fender, Johnny Cash, Hank Williams, Elvis, Beatles, blues, rock, classics, Tejano, it's all here. Organized and priced for you, Forever Memories, 237 North Sam Houston, San Benito.
Welcome back to Rio Sports Live. Bottom of the 4th on a chilly night here at Harlingen South. 2 softball powers ranked number 1, the Lady Bulldogs, in our Real Sports Live tab, taking on the number 3 team, Harlingen South Lady Hawks, on senior night. Back to the action. Christina Arellano trying to lay down the bunt, but it's a foul ball for strike 1. Arellano grounded out to the pitcher in her first trip to the plate. She's 0 for 1. Kelsey Rivera led things off with a single now. Coach Elias Martinez trying to implement the small ball here, trying to get the tying runner in scoring position. Rivera does have speed. Here's the 0-1 on the way from Wettergrove. Called strike 2, looking at the knees. No balls, 2 strikes. Bottom of the 4th. Harlingen South and Lyford locking horns here at Harlingen South. Kevin Arrow on the call along with Mark Molina, Joe Bowling, and Rudy Zamaripa out in center field manning the camera. The 0-2 fouled off. Arellano staying alive in the count. No balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, prior to the game, you know, we're talking, kind of joking around, and you know, we threw out the number. Maybe it'll be a 20-21 game, you know, something like that. Lofty expectations. It looked early on like it might head that way, but you know, we slowed down and just a little bit.
Yeah, the runs were coming in fast and furious. Sharply hit ball to the shortstop. Garza gets the lead runner at second. Throw not in time at first. Rogers is retired on the force play. 6-4 on the book. Arellano reaches on the fielder's choice. Back to square 1 for Harlingen South.
That was a really on-target throw to second there.
And again, it's one of the more athletic combos you'll see in the Rio Grande Valley, with Hannah Garza, the shortstop, Alyssa Garcia, the second baseman. Coach Elias Martinez having a chat with his batter. And again, don't be surprised, despite there being one out, Martinez still likes to put the ball in play. That's a part of his philosophy. You know, you want to put the ball in play small ball, move the runners over, put pressure on the defense. Caitlin Donia is now the batter, 1 for 1 with a single in the second inning. She was stranded on second. She was the only base runner in that inning for Harlingen South. Kayla Flores in the on-deck circle. First pitch from Wedegrove. Play at first, safe at first. Rios quickly calling time. He's going to want an explanation from the field umpire. Boy, Rios quickly called time. First pitch was in for a called strike 1.
Yeah, you saw Coach Rios just made a beeline for the blue.
Now they're going to check.
And you'll see coaches argue calls, but very rarely are you going to see them call time quickly and then just make a beeline like that. We've seen it a couple times this season. At least warrants another look and a little bit of a discussion from the Blues.
The call will stand. The runner will be safe at first. It's Christina Ariano. Coach Martinez walking with his batter literally all the way to the box.
You talk about Coach Martinez wanting to keep putting the ball in play here, and just what that does, and it seems very rudimentary, but you know, just it's always the basics at work. You know, just kind of keeps the infield heads on a swivel there. You know, sometimes it tenses them up a little bit. Maybe you'll get a favorable bounce. Maybe one will get past some legs.
Swing and a miss for strike 2. You've seen a lot of programs start to implement that small ball routine. I've seen Martinez bunt with 2 strikes, or excuse me, with 2 outs. Especially with the speed that he has. He's had it in most recent years, and he certainly has it this year. Here's the 0-2. Called strike 3. Mia Wedegrove with a big strikeout, 2 down in the inning. Kayla Flores comes to the plate. She's 0 for 1. Ninth batter in the order is Flores. Two outs in the inning. First pitch in for a called strike. Throw to second. The runner slides in safe. Leah Kretz, the courtesy runner on second base for Ariano. Here's the 0-1. Flores falling behind in the count, no balls, 2 strikes. Tying run on second, and now a timely hit would be ideal for Coach Martinez's club. That pitch missing upstairs. A ball and 2 strikes. Big spot here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Still plenty of time for Harlingen South. They trail by 1. That pitch fouled back. Coach Marco Munguia chiming in. Coach for the Lady Trojans basketball team. A ball and 2 strikes. Tying run on second. Weathergrove has pitched her way out of a couple of jams here in this one. Looking to do the same here, the 1-2. Thought is fouling that one back. Staying alive in the count, a ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, you mentioned battling out of situations. That's going to pay dividends for her down the line during the rest of the season.
We're seeing a lot of these hitters work the count deep, really challenging the pitchers. Eventually you'll get something to hit. That's in the dirt. Count runs even, 2-2. So tomorrow there will be softball. Incarnate Word High School is coming to town to take on the San Benito Lady Greyhounds.
Incarnate Word, they usually make their round around the valley this time of year.
Right. Well, from what I understand, it's their spring break this week, so they're coming down on a Wednesday to take on the Lady Hounds. I will be there for that one. Chopper to the third baseman, Rojas over to first and in time. 5-3 put out. We head to the 5th. Lyford leads 4-3 on Real Sports Live.
Be sure to stop in Laguna Madre Baits, the home of Laguna Girl 1 and 2. They ensure that you have the best when it comes to your fishing needs. Locally caught bait, including live shrimp and croaker. Frozen baits caught locally, frozen shrimp, squid, mullet, and more. Dress the part with full outdoor apparel. Drinks, ice, snacks, groceries, and fishing supplies for any need. Access by road or by boat. Look for the blue building and the blue shrimp boats. Laguna Madre Baits, 828 Westport Drive, Fort Mansfield, Texas.
South Padre Island Golf Club. Come for a visit. Stay for a lifetime.
Hi, we're Harlingen Huskies, and thank you for watching Real Sports Live.
Before you have time to worry, we'll get you taken care of fast and easy. Now you can get back to your day with a healthy smile.
At First Community Bank, we believe in small business.
When Jennifer and Jimmy Wilson started Wild August Nursery and Flower Farm, they found Ricky Leal at First Community Bank had the financing to help them grow.
Make FCB your bank.
Welcome back to Real Sports Live. Top of the 5th. Playing musical chairs with the headset. Tiffany Alanis leading things off for the Lady Bulldogs. Heart of the order due up 4-5-6. Off speed in there for strike 1. Joe, we were talking earlier about how both teams came sprinting out of the gate, and we just saw the pitchers kind of just settle into themselves and find their groove. And since then, it's been a one. You can call it the second half of the game. It's been one run.
Yeah, absolute confidence builder in these pitchers after the haymakers were thrown in the first inning. If you allude this to a boxing match, first round, lightning. Since then, a lot of defense out there.
We're seeing a lot of line drives shot. Did you see Liana Salcedo's home run?
Yes.
A liner. We looked here to our right. It was just a matter if it was fair or foul. And the folks here to our right, they didn't even know what just went over them. You just saw.
That was as hard a hit ball as you'll see ever. I mean, that was just
on a rope.
Time from ball hits bat until it is hitting street was just nanoseconds.
I would like to know the exit velo on that ball. Seriously. and Joe, it's crazy because we're getting into a stage where coaches have a radar gun, probably about the size of an iPhone.
Yeah.
I'll call it an iPhone 6. About the size of an iPhone 6. and you just hold it up, and you can get the radar gun. You can get how fast the kid's pitching, and then you can even get the exit velo when the ball is coming off the bat.
Wow.
I think that's amazing.
We need to get one of those.
Oh, that'd be fun.
We need to get one of those.
Tiffany Alanis gets hit by the pitch, so the leadoff runner will be on. Now they're checking on Alanis, but that'd be really neat to know the exit velocity, in case folks are wondering velo velocity.
I'll find one of those. And more importantly, I want to find out if it's a lot of times you have something like that and you can push the signal to a computer. If we can do that and call that a video input, we can actually put that on our screen, Kevin.
That'd be fun.
I will start looking at that pretty quick.
Because you have girls that can throw some BBs like Ileana Salcedo. You have kids like Erica Cortez last year. You're just curious on how hard these kids are throwing.
I don't know, Kevin. We're getting so much grief at times to not get scouted. That's the last thing we probably need to do is, let me just show the velocity of the pitches, too.
Or
yes, for the fans. There's some coaches that are still back in the 70s, my friends.
Right. New pitcher in the game for Harlingen South is Ileana Salcedo. So Coach Martinez digging deep into his rotation here. Alyssa Garcia now the batter with a runner on first. This one's a hit ball to left field. That's going to fall in for a hit. Alyssa Garcia now 2 for 3. Runners on first and second. Caitlin Donis now the left fielder. Now the Lady Bulldogs are in business. They got traffic on the base paths. Mia Weddegrove, she's 1 for 2 with an RBI single in the first and a strikeout in the third. Big spot for Lyford. Looking for some insurance runs here in the top of the 5th. Weddegrove looking to bunt. That misses for a ball.
And Kevin, we talked about it earlier, the lineup's up and down, but you get a couple of batters on middle of this lineup, it doesn't mean it goes downhill as far as what you have to face as a pitcher. There's hitters 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, throughout this lineup, it gets dangerous. 2 balls, no strikes, and then especially when you flip the lineup over, you get the mixture of speed and power. 2-0 on the way from Ileana Salcedo. Swing and a miss for a strike.
Well, Jacob Young is on, so high school soccer fans, we got you covered tonight with a big matchup.
Back-to-back swing and misses. Sophomore versus sophomore. And 2 talented pitchers going at it, Salcedo and Weddegrove. This is a good matchup, a futures matchup if you want to call it, with 2 sophomores. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss, strikeout.
Got to chase that pitch out and away. Had committed to swinging early on that, Kevin. You know, as a hitter, if you commit, it's so hard just to stop. You got to be real strong. Pull that bat back.
And it looked as if she was just trying to foul that one away. She didn't look fully committed, but like you said, once you swing, you swing. Michaela Lopez now the batter. She's 0 for 1 with a fly out to right field in the third. Drew a walk back in the first. First pitch swinging. This one's popped up. And Alyssa Ledesma doesn't make the catch, and the ball falls in fair grounds, and a tough break for Harlingen South. And just like that, the bases are going to be loaded. That's a costly error there from Harlingen South. So now 1 out in the inning. Bases are loaded. Now here's the spot Here's a spot in the game, Joe. If you're a defense, if you're a coach, do you bring your infield in and try and go forward to hold that run in a one-run game, or do you exchange it out for a run?
One-run game. Elias Martinez is as defensive-minded as any coach you'll ever see, but he also knows he's got a potent offense behind him, and he knows if he can turn two here, it's momentum swing his way. Looks like he's going to keep him back. 8-hitter in the lineup. That's the only thing that may be directing him in that more so than other.
Claire Gonzalez, the batter. She's 1 for 2 with an RBI single in the first. Fouls that one back. Grounded out in the 4th inning. And a big spot here in this ballgame with just one, or there's one down in the inning.
Remember, we talked about hitters. 8 of the 9 spots in the lineup have reached base here for Lyford in this game.
There's going to be 2 down in the inning. Correction there on the scoreboard, have 2 down. Fouled that one back. So there's going to be runners on second and third.
So what they called on that, Kevin, then is an infield fly rule.
Right.
The ball was popped up behind first base, but still on the dirt. So an infield fly allowed the out to be registered. Once the ball hit the glove, it was a live ball, thus the runners advance. You see them at second and third.
So 2 down and a favorable call there for Harlingen South. And a swing and a miss, and just like that, in the blink of an eye, Harlingen South gets out of the jam. Midway through the 5th, Lyford leads 4-3.
Hi, we're Brownsville veterans, and thanks for watching Real Sports Live. Woo!
Inside a top-secret, highly classified government laboratory, an experimental killer virus has breached containment. You and your team have 60 minutes to find the antivirus. Book your adventure today at trappedrgv.com.
Hi fans, today's game is brought to you by New York Life. Best of luck to your team.
And I'm Danielle Goslin, and I'm a partner with New York Life Insurance Company. For over 170 years, New York Life has built a reputation of developing the most successful professionals in the industry.
We help to manage the process from day one and guide you on your way to success. If you're looking to challenge yourself and build an insurance and financial service business,
then we would like to show you how we can help.
It's Truck Month at Hacienda Ford. What is Truck Month? It's when all the trucks are discounted the most, because Hacienda Ford knows whether you're hauling tools to the job site, hauling the kids to practice, or simply hauling ass. Hacienda Ford has the truck for you. With over 300 Ford trucks in stock, you can quit dreaming about the Ford truck you've always wanted and wake up and drive it. Hacienda Ford Truck Month. Hacienda has it.
That's Cooperstown. Welcome back to Real Sports Live. The trivia question here: where is the Baseball Hall of Fame located at? Joey and I, that's easy. Cooperstown, New York. Piece of cake.
Give me my prize, Mario Medrano. And someone said wrong.
Aw, I hope. Cooperstown, New York. Mario Medrano, we're waving you down in left field. Easy, Medrano. He's up there enjoying himself in the press box. Well, that fan certainly enjoying the trivia.
Got his moment in the sun.
Speaking of which, baseball, we're a couple of weeks, 2 weeks away more or less from opening day for another baseball season. Kayla Rogers leading it off. Top of the order due up for Coach Elias Martinez's team. Rogers, the senior. She's 1 for 2 with a double and a run scored in the first. Flew out in the second inning.
That game is underway. McCallum Memorial taking on La Jolla Juarez Lincoln. That is on the girls' side. That is a big-time matchup in girls soccer here in the RGV.
Rogers chased that one upstairs. No balls and 2 strikes. Tomorrow I was letting the folks know that we'll have some more softball on tap. The Lady Greyhounds hosting Incarnate Word High School.
That'll be a lot of fun there. Incarnate Ward coming down. They're scheduled to come down next week, Kevin. We were getting some conflicting stories. Their spring break is right now. Incarnate Ward's scheduled to be here Monday against Harlingen South. Will that happen or not? That remains to be seen.
Rogers quickly retired on the strikeout. Mia Weddegrove back in the circle for Lyford.
High school football fans, we want to give a shout out there. Yes, our playoff basketball coverage is finished, but on Sunday, this Sunday, the Spark League starts, and that's a high-quality 7-on-7. And the field they're playing on, Kevin, is the field where the XFFL women have been playing, right down the road from your house, and that gets started Sunday. We'll have some coverage of that 7-on-7 football at the high school level, and some teams from right here in the RGV, Laredo and Corpus Christi also involved in that.
Alexa Salcedo, the batter, she's 0 for 2. Takes that first pitch for a called strike 1. Plenty of action coming up this week here on Real Sports Live. This ball is pulled and it will land foul. No balls and 2 strikes to the batter.
Been some hard hit balls here, Kevin. We expected the ball flying out of here. There were some that on other days here, it's left the park when contact is made. But again, that humidity was hanging around, and that does affect the conditions.
It does.
And I think it's kept some balls in the park. That a couple were heading straight for Rudy, and I thought for certain they were going to hit that left center field area.
0-2 on the way now to Salcedo. Ileana Salcedo, the younger sister, waiting in the on-deck circle. And a swing and a miss and back-to-back strikeouts from Mia Weddegrove.
Kevin, we talked about Weddegrove and the experience she's gaining by being on the mound in this type of a ball game. And I think it's a even more positive thing that she gave up those early runs. And Coach Rios said, stay in there. Get through this, work through this, and she's getting better and better, which is only scarier and scarier for how good Lyford may be.
And she's the 2 pitcher on this team. Remember, He still has an ace in Jericho Rojas. Here we go. Ileana Salcedo, the last time she was up, she tied this ball game, and a hard hit ball picked by the shortstop Garza. Not going to be in time, and that's going to be an E6. Well, you kept the ball in the yard with going up against Ileana Salcedo. You can chalk that as a win for Lyford.
Yeah, it's a given. She's going to hit the ball. It's a rarity if you get one past her. And so in this case, okay, she's on base, but the ball did stay in, and we still have our lead.
Now this brings up Quintana Munoz, the senior, Joe, who she'll be signing, as I mentioned earlier, to Texas A&M Kingsville on Thursday. So a big week for the senior Munoz. And here's a line shot into the gap, right center field. Salcedo on her horse. Martinez sending her around third. Here's the play at the plate. Safe, tie ball game. Quintana Munoz, she's going to round home. Nobody there to cover. Safe at home. And just like that, Harlingen South takes the 5-4 lead with 2 down.
First of all, how hard was that ball hit? That got to the wall, 1 hop in a second, and then the jump off of first base at second base, literally turning the corner before an outfielder got a chance to touch that ball. And Elias Martinez is always aggressive on those base paths, sending the runner, forcing the throw to the plate, and then aggressive on the base paths again. Lady Hawks, that's traditional Elias Martinez. Stay aggressive, make some plays, take advantage of miscues. Just like that, flip the switch, we lead.
It's a 5-4 ball game. Medrano's going to have to switch that up here on the scoreboard to our left. Just wanted to make sure everything's good to go. But Quintana Munoz hit that ball into the gap, and it had double written all over it. But you're right, she had such a good jump off the bases that she was able to stretch that in.
Yeah, Eliana was the one that was surprising. I mean, it seemed like she was at second by the time the ball got to the fence. And, Kevin, that didn't take but a split second. So it wasn't a question. She was going to turn the third and try to score on that. It was, could the ball get there close enough to make it a close play?
So Salcedo and Muñiz score. I'm crediting Muñiz with an RBI double.
You got to do that, yeah.
And an error on the throw to third, and then a scoring error.
Yeah, because again, Salcedo was going to try to score no matter what. And if she scores, so be it. Throw there, throw not there. That is an RBI double.
Right. Yeah, that was a double right out of the gate. And then the errors came in. And just like that, Harlingen South rallies back. Some fans tuning in from Bishop, rooting on Quintana Muñiz.
I saw we had him from San Jose, California, from Utah, from neat stuff, Kevin.
This one fouled back. Two balls and a strike to the batter, Alyssa Ledesma. She's 1 for 2. And that's going to get into left field for a 2-out single. This brings up Kelsey Rivera.
Be right back.
Oh, a 2-out rally here by the Lady Hawks. A runner on first, Kelsey Rivera, the batter. That's in for strike 1. No balls and a strike to the batter, Rivera. Slaps this one the other way. That's a foul ball. Coach Martinez thought it was fair.
And the reason why he thought it was fair, if you're standing in the base paths and you touch a ball before it gets to the base and it's even in foul territory and you touch it and you're in fair territory, Kevin, you got an argument.
Here's the 0-2 in the dirt. Ball and 2 strikes. 2-out lightning from Harlingen South. Ileana Salcedo got the rally going, reached on the air. And it is a 5-4 game, Joe. Yeah, there's a mishap up on the scoreboard. The scoreboard has it 6-4, but on my scorebook, I have it 5-4.
Yeah, I've got a 5-4. It was 2 runs scored on that hit.
Right.
There were 2 outs. So, yeah, everything leading 5-4 is your score.
Yeah, those 2 runs came in, both Ileana and Quintana. And that's going to be a drop ball by Weathergrove and safe at first. And, Joe, uncharacteristic defense here from Lyford. Those are routine plays that you see Weathergrove make.
Big spotlight moments starting to come into play. Late stages of this one. I know it's the 5th, but still, you've got a team that's double trouble tough. Can you close it out and get the win? You got to play as good as you did in the 1st, in the 5th, and it's going to get even bigger in the 6th and 7th.
And now the senior Jericho Rojas having a chat with the youngster Mia Weathergrove. And again, Weathergrove got touched up a little bit in that San Benito game, and Coach Rios left her in there. And like you said, you know, you just really just throw them to the wolves, so to speak, growing up right before our eyes. And she rebounded with a big game against Mercedes. But so, again, big spot here in a playoff-like atmosphere against a team who's been doing it year in and year out.
Courtesy runner checks in the game for Harlingen South. So, again, you see their lineup. 7 of the 9 spots in the lineup have been reached base for Harlingen South, up and down. That's why when you look at this game, it's the 5th. We had fireworks to start it. We had pitchers taking control midway. And now if things are opening up again, Kevin, we could still be into 9 runs wins this. That's what I was thinking earlier.
Oh yeah, no, we're in a slugfest right now. When this is far from over. You can bet Lyford is going to come back with the left hook of their own. They're only down by 1 with 2 out. They can get out of this inning here. You know, again, a word that I use when defenses are going up against Lyford's offense is damage control, and that's one thing that Lyford is going to have to do here. That pitch in the dirt for a ball, and I mentioned, Joe, earlier, Christina Ariano with a senior catcher. She's been in plenty of big spots, hit that walk-off home run in the area around when she was just a sophomore. And her and this senior group, Quintana Muniz, Kayla Rogers, these are girls who were in the starting lineup in the 3rd round against San Antonio Brennan as freshmen. So big spots, not a big deal. Diving is the shortstop, Garza, not going to get to it. Everyone's going to be safe. They're going to say the runner's going to, they think the runner should be out on second. I don't think they got it there in time.
They'll check that, but again, the umpire was pretty much right on the spot in the right position to see that. He had a good view of when she grasped the ball. It's not just touch the ball, grasp the ball. Was her foot on the base? Was the runner there in time? All the factors in play. He had a good look at that, Kevin. He was pretty secure in his call and stuck with it right away.
Yeah, I agree. He was right there. He had the best line of vision. And again, you're seeing these teams put pressure on the defense, and that's exactly what Coach Martinez likes to do, and Coach Rios wanting an explanation from the field umpire.
Well, you look at the play, though, it's short. That saved a run by getting a glove on that ball. That was hard enough hit. It was going into center field. So you get a glove on it. It fortunately rolls right to the second baseman. It was that close. But you're looking at saving a run. Again, damage control. If you're Lyford and you head to the 6th and it's a 1-run game, momentum swings right to that dugout as they start to the at-bats.
Caitlin Doñez, the batter. 8th batter in the order. She's 1 for 2, a strikeout in her last at-bat back in the 4th inning. Singled and was stranded on second back in the 2nd inning. Wettagrove finding the river for strike 1. Real Hondo Zapata was going on tonight. Edinburgh North, Edinburgh Vela. District kicking off in 31-6A. Weslaco taking on Edinburgh Economides. So district play in full swing. And that's going to be a base hit into center field. 1 run will score. Martinez, 2nd run, play at the plate. Safe. 2 more runs come across to score.
That is just a monster hit at the 8th spot in the lineup. 2 out, big-time delivery. And Harlingen South showing some resilience here. Late stages of this one.
2-run double from Caitlin Doñez. It's now a 4-run 5th inning for Harlingen South, and the bats breaking out here for the Lady Hawks. And one thing that South felt that they could have done better on was with the timely hits. They were able to get runners in scoring position. They were unable to get that timely hit, and they've got it here tonight.
It's a very strong throw on that play at the plate, but again, Elias Martinez aggressive sending runners. You knew that was going to happen.
Now it's a 3-run lead.
If you're Wettagrove, you've got to retire this hitter right here, right now. It's a number 9 hitter. You keep this inning rolling, you could be looking at 4 or 5 more runs before it's said and done.
Yeah, you can get into a little bit of trouble here. There it is, the bunt with 2 outs. The play at first. Safe at first. And another run will come in to score. The small ball, Joe, and I just mentioned it in the last inning. Martinez is not afraid to bunt with two outs.
Oh, not afraid to bunt with 2 outs. Not afraid to bunt with runners in scoring position. Force the play. It's a bang play there at.
Now runners on the corners, 1st and 3rd with 2 down, and this has become a big inning for Harlingen South.
Off camera, there's a big-time discussion going on. Lyford thought for certain that they got that out. Again, that's how important that was, Kevin. This opens it up. Top of the order now up. This could turn into just it already is a big one, but it could turn into a monster inning. Harlingen South fully capable of running through the next 3-4 hitters before we get into that 6th inning now.
Yeah, you get to the top of the order now with Kayla Rogers, and there's a meeting in the circle. Coach Rios having a chat with the home plate umpire. From where it looks here down the third base line, it looked like a fair ball from here.
Yeah, that was a fair ball. They were saying that on the throw, it beat the runner down the line. It was a bang-bang play, but I haven't got your computer programmed in. Otherwise, we'd have a replay up there and show some fans. Just another button to push, Mark, later on when you're flying that ship over there.
It's the bang-bang play there over at first. Now flipping to the top of the order, the leadoff batter, Kayla Rogers, digs into the box. Here we go, big spot. Weathergrove pumps in a called strike 1.
Rogers has been on base once today, last 2 times up, retired. So in her average, she's due. And then next, you got Saucedo, which is 0 for 3, overdue. Again, this could be more runs coming up.
Here's the 0-1. A ball and a strike. Rogers led off the inning with a strikeout. So the Lady Hawks have batted around here in the bottom of the 5th. Really just a team waiting to explode offensively, and they've done it here in the 5th inning. Rogers laying down the bunt. Weathergrove flips over to first, and in time, we head to the 6th. Harlingen South rallies for a 5-run frame. They lead 8-4 on Real Sports Live.
At HCISD, we move the needle forward every day.
We'll blaze a trail for future generations.
It's not just about equipping students with skills for the future. We awaken their potential and empower them to make good choices.
No matter where you're from or where you're headed, there's a place for you to flourish at HCISD.
Music lovers, you have to stop and see the assortment of records, tapes, and records memorabilia at Forever Memories today. Located at 237 North Sam Houston in San Benito, Texas, there's over 10,000 records on display and more coming every day. Looking for your favorite album from the past, first pressings, collectibles. How about a 45 with a single you just have to have? Freddie Fender, Johnny Cash, Hank Williams, Elvis, Beatles, blues, rock, classics, Tejano, it's all here. Organized and priced for you. Forever Memories, 237 North Sam Houston, San Benito.
Welcome back to Rio Sports Live. Top of the 6th inning. 8-4 ball game. Harlingen South rallying back 5 runs in the bottom of the 5th. Their biggest inning of the season so far. Harlingen South looking to send a message across the Rio Grande Valley saying, hey, don't forget about us. We're still here. 9-1-2, the order due up for the Lyford Lady Bulldogs.
I said no stretch at all to think as far as our polls, which mean nothing. But as far as our polls go, if South were to win this, 3 beats a 1, Kevin, that's sometimes an easy pitch. Put them as number 1. Jump the number 2 team.
Right. Jessica Cruz leading it off. She's 0 for 1 with a strikeout, swing and a miss on the first pitch. Alex Cortez batted for her in the 4th inning. So Cruz getting her second crack at it. 0-1 on the way from Ileana Salceda, who's back in the circle for Coach Martinez. Fouls that one off. No balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, not near as much finesse as what you see with Ruiz in the circle. You're going to see a lot more heat. You just dial it up as a hitter.
And that's what both Ramos and Salceda bring in the circle. They can fire some BBs. That pitch misses. A ball and 2 strikes. You know, last night, speaking of bombs, there was 3 grand slams hit last night. A&M in Kentucky. A&M was losing 9-1. They allowed a grand slam in the first. Swing and a miss and a big strikeout to Jessica Cruz. She's 0 for 2, back to the top of the order.
Boy, that was a key strikeout as well, because you just don't dare open up things by allowing that number 9 spot to reach base, because the next 2 hitters have been on base 5 of the 6 times they've been at the plate.
Yeah, Kentucky started that game with a grand slam in the first, a grand slam in the 4th. A&M was down 9-1. Then they hit the grand slam themselves in the 6th, and they lost 9-8 against the number 10 team in the country. That's how I spent my evening yesterday. And the night before, actually. I watched the rest of that series. Ball and no strikes. Haley Pena, she's 2 for 3. Had a double and a run scored back in the 4th inning. Pena pulls that one. She can straighten that one out.
She had a pitch up and out. She could see that ball well. Turned on it.
Just a little bit earlier. A little bit earlier. Hannah Garza is in the on-deck circle, and this is where you get to the speed part of the lineup. And then you mix it in with some power, and this is a fun matchup right here. Power versus speed. Here's the 1-1. Fastball blown by her, a ball and 2 strikes.
That's just confidence. After turning on that last pitch and then stepping out of the circle, stepping back in, and just rifling one right past the hitter.
A ball and 2 strikes. Staying alive in that count. 1-2. 1 down in the inning. 3 runs in the first for Lyford, 2 for Harlingen South. In the first inning, 5 runs combined in that first inning, and we got off to a hot start. Both teams answering the bell, and of course Harlingen South had that 5-run 5th inning.
Next 4 innings in the middle of this game, 2 runs combined between the 2 teams.
And I've seen this Harlingen South team where they can start off slow like that and they can get that one big inning going, and after that, you know, the hits become contagious, as coaches like to say, and you know, it spreads like a wildfire. And like I always tell hitters, all it takes is 1. Here's the 2-2.
Go back last year to that playoff game. Eagle Pass jumped out on Harlingen South. Looked like they were going to put them away. South bats got rolling. Advance to the next round.
Harlingen South has been in their fair share of crazy games under Coach Martinez. Pena takes that one. Count runs full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Pena can get aboard here. You would have to like Lyford's chances, although there is 1 down in the inning.
So Salceda on the last 2 has missed, but it's been off-speed type pitching. Now, dial it in, folks.
You can look for a fastball or a rise ball here upstairs. Here's the 3-2. There it is, and fouls it back. And as a hitter, you know, we're seeing a lot of these hitters go deep into the counts, and eventually you're going to find something to hit.
You got the confidence of these hitters to be able to adjust. Okay, I'll just wait, go opposite field with the same type of swing, and it's just the evolution of these softball players up and down has been amazing.
There's the rise, and that's ball 4. Try to get her to chase.
Fourth time Pena has reached base. And Kevin, we talked about it off the air. Next, Hannah Garza has been on 3 times in 3 at-bats, and behind them, an overdue Jessica Rojas.
Yeah, Jerica's definitely due. She's going to need her girl right in front of her, Hannah Garza, to continue this inning. First pitch misses for a ball. You know, Johanna Garza, you know, I'm just really impressed on how she's played the shortstop position. And not only that, but, you know, just as a hitter and how she carries herself. And I just love how she works her hands, uses her hands middle away, hits it the other way. And she's just a masterful job. And seeing the ball through. And see, the thing is where she likes to slap. But at the same time, she can turn on it. She can turn on it.
Yeah.
She can turn on it. So she's a natural hitter because you see these kids, they're slappers, and that's all they do. They get the running start. They try and slap it the other way, but not Hannah. You know, she can definitely do it all.
Right now they're bunched up the middle. There is a hole between short and third.
Takes that in for a called strike 2.
South is bunched up the middle. They're hoping for something there to turn 2. 2 called strikes. 1 up, 1 out, but still strikes.
And them being bunched up in the middle like that speaks to the speed and the athleticism from both Garcia and Garza. And I had said it earlier in the game that this is one of the more athletic middle infields with Garcia and Garza.
So I'll say to head on the count, she can make Garza hit her pitch. But again, if you're going outside, be cautious. You got a hitter that can go with that pitch.
And Haley Pena, of course, she's playing right field, and she's the leadoff hitter. She's definitely got speed at the top of the order.
Shortstop's over a good 3 steps towards second base. That is just a monster hole between short and third. Third baseman on the line to protect the slap that direction, but there's a hole there.
That's up for a ball. The count runs full, 3-2.
Two consecutive hitters that it was 1-2, and then it went 3-2. So I'll say to lost the first one. You walk 2 in a row. Again, Rojas on deck, folks. Major league overdue.
They're laying off the rise. There it is. Swing and a miss.
Got her to chase. So hard to lay off that pitch.
Yeah, she got her on the rise ball, and she had done a good job on laying off on the previous 2 pitches. Just trying to do a little bit too much there was Garza, but they can get a run back. They can get a run back here with a base hit. Jericho Rojas, the batter. Tiffany Alanis in the on-deck circle. Rojas, slow roller play over to first. Safe at first.
Rojas getting down the line. That was another bang-bang call, and you asked for umpiring consistency. Well, in the last inning, the Lyford coaches were arguing that very call, Kevin. This time they get it, so consistent call.
That was a close play over at first. I thought she was out from here. Whew. Now time called.
Time called because you have to talk about who's at the plate. You got the cleanup hitter and the 5 hitter on deck who combined have been on 4 of 6 times at the plate. The production getting runners across after the top of the order has got on. Here's where your runs scored in that first inning. The next 2 hitters both contributed to help score runs.
Tiffany Alanis is the cleanup hitter. She's 1 for 2. A single and a run scored in the first, flew out in the second, and then was hit by the pitch back in the 5th inning. But how big was that strikeout of Garza?
That was huge. It was huge. A 3-2 pitch. It could have. You lay off that was ball 4. You chase that, it flips the switch. Now everything that's done on the positive side for Lyford has to be done with 2 outs, which, Kevin, is so difficult. But, hey, the Lady Hawks did it in the bottom of the fifth. Can Lyford respond here in the sixth?
Looking for some two-out lightning. Tiffany Alanis digs into the box. Righty-lefty matchup and a power versus power here. Runners on the corners. Alyssa Garcia in the on-deck circle. She represents the tying run. (1-0) on the way from Salcedo. Counter run even, a ball and a strike. And a big spot here with 2 outs in the top of the sixth. Lyford looking to claw their way back into this ball game. A 1-1 hit the other way and heads up into the parking lot. I learned not to park there.
I saw 2 cars hit earlier in this ball game. 2 over there.
Yeah, I stopped parking there a couple years ago. For fans that are wondering, the parking lot is down the left field line, and there's plenty of foul balls that find their way to the parking lot.
Well, if you park far enough down line, you got to worry about foul balls coming over that baseball field, coming back into that area.
If you're Alanis here, ideally you would love a home run, but a simple single here to get a run up on the board. Ground ball to the shortstop. Salcedo over at second. She's going to be out at second. And a close play. The Lady Hawks get out of the jam. Midway through the sixth, 8-4. You're watching Real Sports Live.
Full days of Texas Fest on March 13 and 14 at the San Benito Fairgrounds. Experience the Battle of the Alamo. See the fabulous Grammy winner Erida Reina Yavante and legendary Jaime de Anda, plus Los Garcia Brothers, Sereno, H3, Grupo Ácido, huge car show, market days, and join the IBCA State Championship Cook-Off. Take in native Indian, folklorico, and Aztec dancers, Reyes dancing horses, and rock climbing wall and games. Don't miss Texas Fest in San Benito.
Before you have time to worry, we'll get you taken care of fast and easy. Now you can get back to your day with a healthy smile.
Welcome back to Rio Sports Live. Bottom of the sixth inning. Pretty good ball game, Joe.
A real good ball game, as expected. 2 teams going at it here, and challenge met by the home team after the visitors tallied in the first. And then the pitchers took control midway through the game, and then bats came to life, taking advantage of some miscues. The Lady Hawks leading and then getting out of a jam at the top of the sixth inning. Now, if you're Harlingen South, right hitters are coming to the plate. This is where the great teams put games away.
Right, and they have the opportunity to do that. 2, 3, 4, the order due up, and you know, this would be a big win for Harlingen South, a team who had a lot coming back, but they were still looking for answers. They had a good showing at the Laredo tournament a couple of weeks ago. They lost to PSJ in the semis. They almost had a dream matchup against Santa Gertrudis. They finished third this past weekend up at the Corpus tournament. So South has yet to have that signature win, and Lyford has yet to lose a ball game this year. Swinging on the first pitch is Alexis Salcedo. Michaela Lopez giving chase, makes the catch for the out, and 1 pitch. Alexis Salcedo is retired.
She just got under that pitch, Kevin. It was right there in her wheelhouse. Just got under it, retired. Look out next time she swings away. When district play starts, I would not want to face her coming off of an 0 for 4.
No, No, and that's an uncharacteristic offer right there for Alexis Salcedo. Now this brings up her younger sister, Eliana Salcedo, and she reached on an error back in the 5th inning. Hit a laser shot over the fence. First pitch in for a call, strike one. Joe, I was telling Mark that last year, Eliana against Harlingen, if you look behind us.
Hit that. Yeah, I was telling Rudy about that too.
The middle of the concession stand.
I was telling Rudy about that shot.
That pitch swung on. That's caught for out number 2 and foul ground, so Salcedo is retired on the F3. Quintana Muniz now coming to the plate. Talk about power and power. Salcedo and Muniz both have it from each side of the plate. Quintana due for a big hit here. First pitch finding the river for strike one. Elizabeth Marquez Garza, her brother-in-law, Adelio Garza, first base coach for the Harlingen South Lady Hawks. She's tuning in. Sharp ground ball to Garza, in and out of her glove, and that's going to be an E6. Just an uncharacteristic error there from the sure-handed shortstop.
No, normally she gobbles that up. That time she committed the cardinal sin on the infield, backpedaling on a ground ball to you. That opens it up.
That's one thing I was telling Mark earlier, is that some of these outfielders, we've seen them get burnt with their first step being forward, and right from the get-go, you can tell from right here, they're burnt. First step's always back. I'm talking about the cardinal sin, and there goes another foul ball into the parking lot.
Yeah, outfielders wait, infielders attack.
Right, and that's, I mean, you're an outfielder, and you know that that's one of the first things they've always taught you. And one thing that I learned over time was that you can look at your bill. If you see the ball in front of your bill, the ball is going to be in front of you. If the ball is over your bill, that's going to be over your head. That's going to be a 2-out single. I don't know if you were ever taught that.
I was taught to watch, the bill of the cap, to watch the area right behind home plate where it's green right up into fence. A lot of little tricks you can teach an outfielder. But if the instinct is take a half step back on contact, you're not going to be hurt. A, you're in motion. B, you can always come in and judge where a ball's at a lot faster than you can go back and chase it.
And I always run on my toes.
Yeah, that's.
I always run on my toes.
Here we go again. First two retired. And that doesn't mean you can relax against the Harlingen South team.
Kelsey Rivera, the batter. She's 1 for 2 with a strikeout in the first, a single in the fourth, and reached on an error in the fifth and scored. She was a part of that 5-run fifth. The 0-1 high and in for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-2 on the way to the batter, Rivera. Ledesma got aboard on a single to keep the inning alive. A ball and 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here's the 1-2. This one hit foul. Christina Ariano in the on-deck circle. It's also senior night here at the ballpark.
Early for senior night, or it feels like it should be early. Maybe it's just because that's my first softball game I've been to this year. That I can actually sit down for a moment.
We're right about the time where it's senior night, more or less. I know a lot of these coaches like to get it earlier in the season, and try and avoid the whole senior night deal on during district play.
District play, right?
Much like football. Parents' night, senior night.
Yeah, get that out of the way. They also have homecoming to deal with, too.
Homecoming, there you go.
Looking ahead, Lyford in the 7th. They've already been through the top of the order. So trailing by 4 runs, they'll be in the meat of their order.
It'll be 5, 6, 7, Alyssa Garcia, Mia Weddegrove, Michaela Lopez. If you can get Alyssa Garcia on, she has speed. Weddegrove has had a hot bat.
Yeah, there's rally speaking there, but first and foremost, you want to keep it 8-4.
Rivera just getting a piece of that one.
We were trying to count it, Kevin. How many games has it been since Lyford has lost regular season coming into this one?
Well, they went 32-0 last year.
The year before, I know they ran the table in district play, which was leading to playoffs.
Right. We'll definitely have to do some homework on that. And that's going to be a base hit back up the middle. Muniz is going to round third. She's headed for home, sliding in, safe. Play at third, safe at third. Muniz comes around to score. Ledesma advances to third. Rivera gets the RBI single, a double on the throw. Now this brings up Christina Ariano.
More 2-out production for the Lady Hawks. Remember, this was nobody on, 2 outs.
And again, all it takes is one for an offense, and a team looking for the big hit and the signature win, and they're 3 outs away from doing that here tonight. First pitch, strike 1 to Ariano.
Fans, enjoy this game while you can, because it has been asked to be pulled by one of the coaches here, and as a matter of fact, both coaches want it pulled. So enjoy it being live. Replays will be up later on. But a full-blown version of this game will not be available till long, long after district play, when playoffs are concluded for the 2 teams that you see on the field.
We got to decide who's our player of the game. Here's the 0-2.
That hitter. So now bases loaded for the Lady Hawks.
Caitlin Donis now the batter. Christina Ariano aboard on first. Now we're going to have a courtesy runner. Leah Kretz, the courtesy runner, in at first for the catcher Ariano. She'll throw her gear back on to prep for the 7th inning.
4 consecutive hitters reaching base now. After the first 2 were retired here in this 6th, this resembles what happened in the 5th.
Donis, the batter, she's the designated player. First pitch missing for a ball.
7 in a row reach base in that 5th inning for Harlingen South after the first 2 were retired.
That was the big inning for Harlingen South, and you can look at it and talk about that was the inning that got everything going. Swing and a miss for a strike. And again, a team who the expectation is there. They expect to compete in what is going to be arguably the toughest district in the Valley, 32-6A, a team that has been to the Sweet 16 2 out of the last 3 years. And in between that, a trip to the 3rd round. They're trying to find themselves.
You look just up the road, and Westaco making a big statement this past week. Vela, how good are they going to be? Edinburgh North, how fast are they going to grow up? So there's 3 in that district, but this one, up and down. Who knows how many real good teams are here.
Here we have answers. Slow ground ball to first, picked at first, or a foul ball. Yeah, I feel we have more answers in 32-6A because we know what we're going to get with Harlingen South. We knew what was afoot in Harlingen. It was a matter of putting the pieces of the puzzle together. They've done that. San Benito, and then Joe, wait till you get a load of this freshman class that I got to see over the weekend. They got some players. They're waiting for Jalen Huerta, their sophomore, to come back. When she comes back to join that lineup,
yeah.
I mean, you're talking. We talk about the power Harlingen South has, the power that Lyford has. Harlingen's knocking home runs. I mean, just the San Benito lineup is going to be dangerous with Jordan Ramos, with Bethany Aguilar, Emily Delgado, Kate Garza at the leadoff spot. I mean, it's going to be tough. Hard hit ball into right field. That's going to score one. Here comes the second run. Play at the plate. No play. 2 more runs come across to score.
All with 2 outs, my friends. Second consecutive inning. This Harlingen South team proves do not exhale till you get in the dugout with a 3rd out to wrap up an inning.
I think we just may have found our hacienda. She has it. Caitlin Dones, 4 RBIs tonight. She is 3 for 4, was the catalyst in that 5-run frame in the 5th and adding 2 more RBIs to her name.
And that's at the number 8 spot in the lineup, Kevin.
Right. Kayla Flores now the batter, and all of a sudden it's all Harlingen South. Kayla Flores the batter, ahead in the count, of ball and no strikes. Count runs even 1-1. Kayla Rogers in the on-deck circle. Here's the 1-1. Rogers fouls that one off. A ball and 2 strikes. So a big inning here, and that just may do it. That last 2-run double from Donis. Here's the 0-2 from Wetagrove. High and tight, a ball and 2 strikes. This game started out quick. It was tightly contested until that 5th inning. And a ground ball to Wetagrove over to first. And in time for the 3rd out. 1-3 put out. We head to the 7th. Last shot for the Lady Bulldogs. They trail on Real Sports Live.
Harlingen is your source for lifts, wheels, and tires. Talking trucks of any size, any model, and any year. Specializing in accessories with top-of-the-line products to bring that special look to your truck in a professional way. Lifts, wheels, and tires, with financing available too. Call today or stop by Truck Tex in Harlingen.
Our professional advisors at Employee Retirement Service have been providing financial and retirement planning for many years for employees of different employment.
If you've spent your career in education and are ready for the next chapter, let the professionals at Employment Retirement Services help. You've worked hard, and now it's time to relax and enjoy with peace of mind and security.
Help fulfill your retirement needs. Come experience the difference with us.
And let's plan your retirement together. Call us at 956-440-8774 to schedule your appointment today.
Internet is more than just uploads and downloads. It's about connecting people. VTX1 Companies is here for you, bringing communities closer together. VTX1 has connected customers for almost 70 years. Our internet service spans across South Texas to some of the most remote areas. Faster wireless service is now available in Palmview, Alton, Westlaco, and Farr. Call 1-800-446-2031 or visit vtx1.net to find out more.
Welcome back to Rio Sports Live. Swing and a miss on the first pitch for strike one. 5, 6, 7, middle of the order due up, and the last shot for Lyford. Alyssa Garcia leading it off for Lyford. A ball and a strike. 2 for 3 as Garcia with a run scored and an RBI in the first. Flew out in the third and then had her second hit of the day back in the fifth. Here's the 1-1. This is a flare looking to fall in for a leadoff single for Garcia. Dave Favila tuning in. Shout out to Dave.
Little flare single, which normally you're like, oh, that's okay. You got a 7-run lead, but you're talking about a team, if there's any in the Valley capable of producing 7 runs in a specific inning, you're looking at it at the plate here in the Lyford Bulldogs.
Hey, I'm all for it. That pitch missing away for ball 1. A ball and no strikes to the batter, Mia Wettergrove. She's 1 for 3, an RBI single in the first inning, struck out in the third and in the fifth. She's ahead in the count, a ball and no strikes. Got a hold of that one, but foul. Count runs even, a ball and a strike.
Normally when they say a hitter does that, swings through a pitch, it goes straight back. They were on that pitch. They had it timed. They just misplacing it on the barrel of the bat.
Michaela Lopez in the on-deck circle. Here's the 1-1. Swung late. Saucedo ahead in the count, a ball and 2 strikes.
Saucedo's like, well, you were on that one. Catch this one.
1-2 on the way. And this is a hard hit ball. This one's going to be back off the top of the wall. Here's the play at third, sliding in safe. Alyssa Garcia advances to third, and now a run's going to score at the plate. I look down to my scorecard.
Ball got away just a little bit, and wow, aggressive base running down 7.
So now Garcia comes across to score.
The ball was about a foot away from getting out of here. It hit off the top of the fence out there in straightaway center field.
Wettergrove advances to third. Credited to her with the double. A ball and no strikes to Michaela Lopez. If you're Lyford, you want to get this lineup flipped over. That pitch missing upstairs. 2 balls, no strikes. No one warming up for South.
Yeah, if you're Saucedo, you just simply keep throwing strikes. You don't get cute. Just come after hitters. Trust your defense.
Strike 1. Claire Gonzalez, Jessica Cruz waiting in the on-deck circle. My question is Idel Rojas. Is she gonna grab a bat? She had been swinging a hot bat as a designated player. We'll see if she comes in to pinch hit here at some point. Count runs even, 2-2. Wettergrove standing on third. Here's the 2-2. This one popped up for out number 1 and a big out for Harlingen South. Lopez retired on the F3.
If you're Harlingen South, you breathe a little easier when that first out's recorded. You start looking up and 2, 3, 4, 5 hitters in a row reach base. You start getting a little antsy. Lyford doing all they can to get that top of the order back around.
This brings up Claire Gonzalez.
Showed bunt all the way, choked way up on that before the pitch ever got close to the plate.
Gonzalez 1 for 3, had an RBI single in the first, grounded out in the fourth, and struck out in the 5th inning. And a half-hearted swing falls behind in the count. No balls and 2 strikes.
Same thing, showing bunt, trying to pull back at the same time. When you're up against a hurler with the velocity on these pitches, you try to pull the trigger again on swinging. Again, that result, more than not, will happen.
0-2 on the way and a big pitch from South. Swing and a miss for the strikeout. Big out number 2 and a way to respond from the sophomore Salcedo. Allowed the first 2 runners to get on. And was able to rebound in a big way, and that just shows the veteran. I mean, I know she's a sophomore, but she's pitched in plenty of games for Harlingen South as a freshman. She's pitched in playoff games before, but just a calming presence from Salcedo.
And now just trying to talk it over with the infield. Dial it in, heads up. Don't open up something. Finish this off. She knows, the bench knows. Top of the order is next. This is the hitter you want. Right here, right now, Jessica Cruz, you want to get her out.
Well, it's going to be Adele Rojas, Joe. They're going to
okay.
They are going to pinch hit her here at a big spot.
All she wants to do is extend this game. Base runners, base runners, base runners.
First pitch missing for a ball. Rojas been swinging a hot bat. She hit a home run 2 weeks ago at the PI Los Fresnos tournament against Rio Hondo, and she was placed 8th in the order as a designated player. And here's a hard hit ball, right field. Rogers there to make the grab for the out, and that's the ball game. 11-5, Harlingen South picks up the win, knocking off the Lyford Lady Bulldogs.
Well, gave it a ride, Kevin, but again into right field. Not much is carried out there all night long. And what a win for Harlingen South. We talked about when was the quality win coming. It just happened.
Yeah, it was a matter of a quality win and when it was going to happen, and it happened here tonight. Harlingen South needing that signature win, that checkmark win, so to speak. They were able to get it here tonight. And a team that needed it. You know, Lyford has been on a roll. They were bound to run into a bad game. You know, Harlingen South, they lost to Vela, they lost to PSJ, they lost to Pioneer. It was a very uncharacteristic on how many times they lost to Valley teams because they hadn't been doing that as much. And I felt that this team was a little bit behind schedule in the past couple of years. At this point in the season, we saw Harlingen South steamrolling through teams.
Yep.
And all it takes is one for a team like this to build confidence moving forward into district play. This is a big win for Harlingen South. Really, Joe, upsetting the number 1 team in our polls.
No doubt about it. The 3 beat the 1. Does the 3 go to 1? Well, we got a few more weeks before we decide that for the next tab. But quality win for Harlingen South. Lady Hawks, your player of the game, Kevin?
Oh, my player of the game, Hacienda. She has it, player of the game. It's going to go to Caitlin Donis. She went 3 for 4, 4 RBIs in the 5th and in the 6th inning. She was the catalyst in that rally there in that 5-run 5th and then a part of that 3-run 6th. She had a big game out of the designated player role, and a big win for Harlingen South and a rare meeting between both Lyford and Harlingen South. two of the more successful programs. So I want to thank everyone for tuning in here on Real Sports Live. It was fun. Final score from Harlingen. Harlingen South beats Lyford 11-5, saying so long and good night from Harlingen.